when you shoot with JD visuals, it's a movie.
Yo, what's going on? This is WCTA where we play the hits and dusties. And today
one smile can change your life around. One smile can pick you off the ground. One smile can lift those who are down.
And I'm actually
Make you feel safe inside. Help you get that rebound. One smile, simple but profound. One smile can help you get that crown. Oh, one smile will help you pull around. Don't stay there and drown. Smile, you lose that frown. Oh, one smile. One smile. Yeah, one smile. One smile. Oh, one smile. One smile. One smile. One smile. I was to this girl the other day. She had that look of sadness on her face. I didn't know exactly what to do, so I asked her what's been going on with you. She told me that her life was upside down. She needed help, but no one was around. I hugged her right before we walked away. And she turned and told me that I made her day with my smile. One smile. Yeah, one smile. One smile. Oh, one smile. One smile. One smile. One smile. One smile, 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 one smile.
Grand day, and welcome to the RockTrue Queens Conference. I am one of your many hosts, Selena K, and we thank you for joining us as we rock truth are absolutely nothing at all. We live in a society today where truth before our very eyes is consistently questioned, criticized, and altered to fit a person's ideology of what ideology of what God intended for the kingdom and for mankind. I actually cannot find the RockTrue intro for the Queen, so I had to just kind of like go off the cuff with that. But we do welcome you to the RockTrue Queens Conference. Hello, Queens. How are you?
Hey.
Yes.
Hey.
How you guys feeling today?
Amazing.
Great. Y'all look amazing. Y'all look dope. Hi. I don't know who that Facebook user is. But let us know who you are. We can definitely shout you out. Thank you for Miss Desires to who is that, Queen?
Oh, it's not cooking up, is it?
Hey, Miss Amelia, thank you so much for tuning in to Rock Truth with us. Absolutely nothing at all. We are definitely getting ready to get started with the Queen's Conference. I am really excited about today, guys. I am super excited about today. Um, Hold on, let me go to the layout real quick. All right. So today, our theme is focused on you don't know who covered me, and it's imperative to actually refer to AJ here regarding the purpose because it actually came from her. It actually came from her ideology. And I'll go into I'll go into the thing after the purpose, but it really came from AJ. So I'll go ahead and allude to AJ for the purpose of this conference. You don't know who covered me. Go ahead, AJ.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. I'm AJ Adams, one of the co hosts of RockTrue Queen Show. The purpose of You Don't Know Who Covered Me is actually, it was a conversation. We're talking about how people treat you, and how, they treat you bad or, do, things to you, whether it's maliciously or, not on purpose by mistake, I'm going to say. Um, but they do things and want the worst for you, expect the worst for you, not knowing, whatever you try to do to me, I'm covered. So it's not going to hurt me the way you think it will. It's not going to affect me the way that you think it should or think it will because you're wishing ill to me. So that's where the basis or the purpose of You Don't Know Who Covered Me. A lot of times we get mad because, somebody has wronged us or talking bad about us. But at the end of the day, you have to let it go and just, you know who covers you. Yeah. You know who has you. You know who has your, your best interest, and you know who's going to protect you from those people trying to hurt you. Yeah. But the other side of that is we have to stop hurting ourselves, because a lot of times we get in our own way. We get in our heads about, what we think we can accomplish, or, what we think can happen in the future or tomorrow. So it's one of those things, is knowing who covers you, but also, not hurting yourself, because, God gonna cover you no matter what, but you don't want him to cover crap. You want him to cover the love that you put in yourself.
Teach, Queen. Teach. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, so it spiraled out of a conversation that we were having. And it's such a blessing, because even in that moment with that conversation, when you don't know who covers you, you don't know what friends also cover you too. So in that moment, it was those words that were very necessary for my life at that point. Because again, when we're all out here recreating, we're all out here, trying to be exactly who God designed us to be, and doing the things that God would have us to do freely, being ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Do you know? I don't know if anybody else don't know how much of a struggle it was just to overcome your own thought process, your own self-doubting, your own fears, and to just be out here as you are. And then to have people, that desire to bring you down, that you actually are attempting to help. You know what I'm saying? And that's where that came from. So initially just started off with, me doing my art, because that's exactly what my therapy is. My therapy is my graphic art. And so I was just like, hold on, nope, I got to do a picture. And this was the imagery, that best fit, you don't know who covered me. And it's definitely just walking away from all of the things that seem to be clouding whatever my judgment is at that time, or desiring to, put that damper on me becoming who God said that I can be. So again, I thank you for your friendship, AJ. I thank you for those words of encouragement, empowerment. Shout out to Miss Carolyn Wilson, who will bring us words of empowerment later. But thank you for those words of empowerment that continue to, keep me going. But that's what we all need. That's what Rock and True Friendship is, us having friends in our lives.
And please know, I did not yell at you when I said that.
She did. Like, that's the first time. Normally she beats up on me. I went, Doc, anybody in here a caseworker? I just like to throw that out there.
I don't beat up on you. I just Don't do that. You know, we all caseworkers. Don't do that.
I know, right? Okay, circles. Yes, but no, you tough. You are tough. You don't let me. I can't have no moments. I can't have any moments. Don't let you get me.
No. Just to let you all in, I will call Selena randomly, and I either yell at her or I'm whispering. If I'm whispering, it's because I'm in the office and I can't talk trash. But if I'm not in the office, the first thing I do is yell at her, and then I tell her what I want, and then I hang up. So
Period.
that's just
I
the
like when she's
nature
in the
of.
office. I love when she's in the office. I crack up laughing when she's in the office because she can't say what she want to say. She wants to say it. And I'm just like, that's what you get. That's exactly what you get. So yeah, so the theme of You Don't Know Who Covered Me, of course, spiraled from a conversation and then just trying to figure out, okay, how is it that we want to do this? How do I want to actually represent this to the world? And so I'm a writer, so everything for me is journalistic. You know what I'm saying? Everything for me is the who, what, when, where, how, and to what extent. You know what I'm saying? And so that's exactly how we're going to break it down. We have Miss Doretha. She's not with us right now, but we'll await her to come through. But she's actually going to discuss the who. And if we don't have her in the time frame, we already know who. God and other people through God is using them to cover us. So, but we'll wait for her to expound on that. We also have Miss Louise Terry, who's going to deal with the what, define cover, and what it means to cover. You are to correct people, not accept them or tolerate them. You correct them in love, not accept them for who they are, correct them exactly where they are. And then we'll have Miss Monique Morman, Miss Monique, who will deal with the wind. Under what conditions are you covered? The weather, not just the weather of the storm, but whether this or whether that. You are covered. And then we'll go with Miss TaiStar, who will bring the where, under what jurisdiction you are covered. Miss Lakisha will bring in that how, the blood, and revelation. And then we'll close out with Miss Deanna. And that's to what extent, the extent of the cross. And then we'll have Miss Carolyn come in and give us words of empowerment for all of us, just to keep going, keep growing, keep striving, keep being, because we all need encouragement, especially we about halfway through the year, yo. We done made it this far, but you never know what other people are growing through or going through. So real quick, before we actually get started, let me go ahead and allude to the sponsor real quick, which is Luxtoria and my thingy is messing up. Okay. And Healthy in Space. And so guys, we have the Mother's Day in Wellness, Health in Space. They are actually putting together a gift box, which is $40 for Mother's Day. The price is there through Mother's Day. The gift box contains Wise Woman's tea blend and teacup. There is Lux butter, Lux soap bars, lavender milk tea bags, Mother Nature natural soy wax candle. And when I tell you, the Mother of Goddess soy wax candle is amazing. Like, I had it just sitting on my nose. I wouldn't even put it down. It was super duper, super amazing in smell. It brought about so much RockTrue peace. I am so serious. And I'm just like, I can just sit with this candle forever. I want this candle burning in my house. I want it on my body. I want every fragrance, everything that I can have of this candle. I want it. So it is super amazing. And it'll make for an amazing gift set for your mother or even for yourself. Celebrate you, Queen, this Mother's Day as well. Ain't nobody gonna celebrate you like you. And then another thing too, I definitely want to, in terms of highlighting people who are just doing amazing things out here. And when I was saying you never know what it is that people are going through, you just see the glitz, the glam, the glory. You don't know the stuff that's behind the scenes. And so that's why it's imperative for us to just always be in constant prayer with and for each other. So I definitely want to do a shout out real quick to my girl, Miss Olivia Shield, who is out here. She is a host, radio personality, magazine owner, motivational speaker, red carpet. Listen, she doing everything. And I got the opportunity to sit down and talk with her and just watched how her drive matched my drive. If it wasn't like 10 times mine, and to see, like, our stories are very similar, and to watch somebody else, like, that's what God to do. Like, I was telling a friend, like, I don't even know where it came from. Just like you would have thought it was a conversation before all this. And I just said randomly, like, but I'm not giving up. And it was like, who talking to you? I don't even know. I don't even know where it came from. It was like, but I'm not giving up. And it's like just to have God put somebody else, another model in front of you that's also like, no matter the weather, no matter the storm, no matter the conditions, I'm not giving up. I'm putting everything into everything that God has given me. This is my baby, and I refuse to let anybody or anything abuse it. And so I'm going to keep on striving. I'm going to keep on going. And I definitely wanted to shout out and highlight to her. She is actually the magazine owner of the Biz Mag that we are associated and a part of. And as that is growing, as we are growing, she's another person out here that is interviewing people and giving people a chance to live out their dreams for free. Other people charge, and everybody got a price in this world for whatever reason, but this is somebody else doing it for the culture, doing it for the love of the game. And I definitely wanted to just highlight her real quick. She may pop in just a second to, let us know about the things that she has going on. But until then, we're going to just keep it moving on. So without further ado, let me introduce our host for the evening. That would be none other than Miss Doc Ock in the building. Yes, ma'am. If you see her somewhere and she tell you she not a doctor, tell her she lying. If she is a doctor, I don't care what ain't behind her name. I know what's in front of it. And she is a doctor. I know who goes before her. She is a doctor. She makes sure that we are that we have nutritional value here at RockTrue. And it is because of her that even you watch how even with the cafe, we have tweaked and changed and moved because she encouraged us to study the things that we are putting into ourselves, the things that we are putting into ourselves, and doing the research and making sure that our bodies, our minds, our hearts, our spirits, our souls are functioning in accordance to God's written plan, not the way you want it to go. Like, it's not cool putting orange juice in your gas tank, and it's not cool putting anything into your mind, your heart, your spirit, and your soul. And so I thank you for that. She is our nutritionalist, she is our chemist, and she is also Doc. Doc, take it from here, babe.
I have, oh my goodness, this, because when you said like the year is halfway over, I was like, the year is halfway over. It's like I literally feel like from like October of last year, it was just like,
Yeah.
it just pop up like it's May. Like, where did the rest of the year go? Like, stuff is just, it's just been like dealing with one thing after the next, just going with the flow of things. And a lot of times, like when you just got your head down, your nose to the grindstone, it's like you feel like you're missing stuff, or you feel like you're not quite progressing the way that you should.
Right.
But when you really think about the work that you're putting in when you're not necessarily moving, because it's kind of like with a caterpillar. Like a caterpillar isn't going anywhere. Once it's in its cocoon, that's where it is.
Jesus.
But it's so much stuff going on inside that cocoon that it's like it needs to be still, like, because one wrong move and it's like, oh, are you getting a butterfly? Or like, so that's definitely kind of like what I've been trying to pay attention to, and then just kind of be kind to myself and compassionate to myself, because it's very easy for me to be nice and compassionate and forgiving to other people, but I find that I don't necessarily give myself that same courtesy. And so I'm just really working in that space to allow myself to grow where I am as I am. And I definitely encourage everyone else to do the same thing. Like, you don't have to be go all the time, because life isn't like that. Life moves in cycles. Like, there's cycles to everything. That's why seasons change, because there's a cycle to it. And we are made from the earth. So lo and behold, we share those same cycles. So you have to sit and be in whatever season that you are in. And yes, everybody else may be in spring and you're in winter. You just got to be okay with that. Like, enjoy people's flowers, and then maybe you might see how they did their garden. So when your springtime comes, you can tend to your garden properly. So having mentors and having people that you look up to, having people that are doing different things around you, it definitely can help in your growing season once you're, getting ready for your blooming season. So it's definitely a season to everything, and you just gotta work with it, work with yourself, and be kind to others as you are to yourself. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But if you're mistreating yourself, then of course you're going to mistreat the people around you. Of course you're not going to be able to give the people the space and time that they need because you're not giving yourself that same space and time. So definitely, what you're doing inside reflects outward, and people are attracted to that. So when you're growing and you feel beautiful inside, that's what people are going to see outside. And that's what I always, encourage people. And it's been a couple of people I've been seeing on my Facebook and stuff. They've been, growing and everything. And it's like, then they have, I've been feeling like, because I don't have this or I'm not like that. And it's like, why do you see? That's what happens when you mind other people's business. That's my thing. Like ever since last year, I'm like, I'm minding my business because like, I don't know why it's like gotten such a negative connotation. Like mind your business. Like, no, that's the best advice anybody can give you. When somebody says that and they really mean it, they actually care about you. Because a lot of times we struggle with stuff that's not even any of our business. Like we're trying to find solutions to problems that aren't even ours. So it's like, no wonder why you're stressed because you're not equipped to handle that. That wasn't for you in the first place. So when you mind your own business, you really can mind your own business. And you can get the jewels and the diamonds out of the hard work and pressure that's put on you for you. You don't get diamonds from somebody else's mind. You get them from your own mind. So you have to pay attention to the pressure and the heat that you're under so you can go and mind your diamonds.
Sage.
And then what do we have? Oh, yeah.
You're introing the live audience. And
yes.
Here we go.
So we do have our live audience here. Our RockTrue manager.
Woo!
Hey.
Woo!
Hey, everybody.
Oh, Lord Tight was like tight.
Right. Even over here cutting up already. Telling us some greetings, Tay. I remember when he first started calling you that, you hated it so much.
I promise.
Because how you just gonna change my name? And like officially change it, like.
And he didn't care not one bit. He still kept calling. That's Lord Tyron. That's why you got to put the Lord there. You got to say Lord Tyron.
Like God bless him.
Is Tamoy still here?
No, we have Miss Lakisha, and then we going away.
Okay, and of course our tried and true the RockTrue Queens co-host Lakisha. Hey Nikki.
Hey, how you doing?
Look at you all warmed up. Wait, and what's you at an event right now?
Huh?
You at an event? You getting ready for one? You getting ready
well,
for one?
Actually, I'm the manager of a wine bar, so we're about to get started for Cinco de Mayo tonight.
Oh, okay, see that. Oh, okay. That's right. We in dialogue. We see you.
Yes. Monica say, hey, sis.
Hey, blessings. Let me see. Where you at? Wait, hi, blessings. Shout out to you. Yes.
Hey.
It's another queen.
But limited edition. Love the shirt. Yes. Okay. Okay. Tell them.
Yes. All right. We don't have Miss Doretha, so we can go ahead with Miss Louisa and keep going. Why I keep calling her Louisa like it's an A on the back of that name? It's Louise.
I'm looking at. I'm like, okay.
I keep wanting to say that, girl. That's the Selena in me.
Right. You will remix your name real quick for a little bit.
Bitty bitty bomba.
Right. Louisa. That's not her. She like that's not me.
So our first guest that we have, and she'll be talking about. We have the what. Yeah. So Miss Louise Terry, are you there, Queen? Can we bring her in? Okay, there she is.
Is she there? It's okay. Let's move forward. Let's go ahead and go on to Miss Monique, and then we'll bring her back. It could be a technical difficulty. Oh, there she go.
There she go. There we go. Because I know today has been kind of storming. It looks like it's storm rolling in my area too.
Lakisha out because it's storming. Hey, boo, hey. Get you.
Hello, hello. I am here. I was in a. I'm working two different meetings, so I
It's
was
okay,
trying to
sis.
finish in that meeting while I was waiting on you all. But hey, I'm here.
Looking gorgeous. Love the
Thank
smile.
you,
That's
sis.
that's
Thank
the
you.
best thing you can wear is a
Thank you.
beautiful smile. Like the song said at the
Yeah.
beginning, one smile
One smile.
can change your whole day.
Yes, Lord.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Lord.
Thank you. Thank you. You ladies too. Beautiful. I've been watching you. I was in my other meeting and watching you all. I'm like, okay, look at all these beautiful ladies on here.
Queen, yes. Well, Queen, it's on you. Go ahead and hit us with the who, what, when. Oh, you're the
It's
what?
on me.
You're the what?
Okay. Thank you all.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
I'm what?
You are
Can
the
y'all
what?
hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
We good? Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you all. Thanks again so much for having me. And I'm just going to use 3 of those 5 minutes. I'm not going to be long at all. But thank you so much for this is just an honor. Anytime for me, you have the opportunity to speak with anyone about um, anything about, God and just the way of God and just his ways, his direction, and just giving insight and giving encouragement. That's definitely an honor for me. So my topic that I was given was to talk about being covered. What does it mean to be covered? And Miss Selena gave me uh, instructions on how to speak about that, and just some things
Yeah.
that she wanted me to make sure I touched on. And so in my research, I had, just taken some notes and wanting to make sure I hit those points. And so in my research, I had came across kind of a definition, and it kind of went right with what I was already kind of researching and taking notes on. And so I'm gonna just start by reading that. So God's covering is an expression which describes the spiritual protection and nurture which God provides for all those who are in covenant relationship with Him. You cannot see His covering, but you can certainly experience the effect which it has. And I just thought that was awesome. I thought that was awesome because when you think about being covered, just in a regular definition of being covered is just not being seen, being hidden, or hiding, or something being over you, in a sense, when you think about a covering. And so I had a little topic, y'all. So my little topic was the freedom in being covered, but you are free to be uncovered. So the freedom in being covered is you experience God's protection. When you're covered by God, covered by the blood, covered by His wings. The Bible talks about that coverage, just feeling protected. And we as women know, as people know, especially us as women, feeling that when you're in a relationship, you want to feel covered, you want to feel protected, you want to know, even in friendship, you want to know that somebody got your back. If something happens, I'm covered. They got me. If it's your girlfriend, your best friend, your mom, you just want to know in life you got somebody, that got your back. And when I think about being covered under His wings, I'm like, it's nothing that I can't be protected from. It's nothing that can come my way that I'm not covered, or I'm not protected from. And so that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So we know, even with being covered, that doesn't necessarily mean that hard times aren't going to come. Just because God got me, I'm exempt from anything happening to me, or anything negative coming my way.
that's not what it means. And when I was researching it, I thought about the three Hebrew boys. A lot of people know that story, but for those of you who don't, three Hebrew boys in the Bible were, and they were young men. A lot of times when we think about Bible stories, well, for me, I always think of older people. I don't know why. Maybe because, the Bible is something that was way back then. And so in my mind, I always process it as these are older people. But the Hebrew boys were young men, and they were thrown in a fiery furnace by some of the soldiers, by the king in the Bible. And I'm just saying it so that people can understand that may not know of the story. But they were thrown in a fiery furnace. So when you think about a furnace, even a furnace in your home, what heats up your house. Now, it was fire, in this furnace. And so the soldiers threw them in because that's what the king told them to do. Threw them in, and they threw them in for a while. The soldiers go back, and they're like, I thought we threw three boys in the furnace. And they like, yeah, we did. And they was like, well, we see four. Yeah. So that story came to me, and I'm just like, wow. And it was just like God was just reminding me that no matter what you go through, I'm there with you. So though my wings does not exempt you from experiencing some of the difficulties in life and some of the things, the turbulence and the roller coasters that life may bring, you're not alone. So while the enemy may feel like it's just you, it's always going to be two. You're never alone. So know that that protection and that covering is always with you, even like I read at the beginning, even if you don't always see it, feel it, and know in confidence that you're not alone and you always have that covering. And then just talking about being free to be uncovered. So we all know that in this journey and in this walk, this Christian way, this walk of faith, it's we are free to do it, and we are free to not do it. We are not forced to make any decisions that they used to have that saying, what would Jesus do? And in those moments you had to choose, okay, am I gonna do, is it gonna be a what will Terry do? Because right now I feel like responding like I want to respond, or am I going to really respond, react the way that Jesus would? So what would Jesus do? So that's the freedom in being uncovered. You have a choice to make. You have a choice. You can choose to say, I choose to be covered. Therefore, I am going to walk in a way that does not look like me because I'm covered. When you're covered, no one can see you. Okay? So you're not exposed when you're covered. When you're covered, all they can see is what is over you. If I have a hood on, you can't see whether I have hair, whether it's long, whether it's short, whether it's in a ponytail, because I'm covered. Okay? So when you're covered by God, I don't see you. I don't see you. You're not on the scene. You're not responding. My cover is what you see. Okay? So, but we can choose to be uncovered. So at any moment I say, I'm putting my covering on the shelf. It's time for me to respond because I don't like what you said. I don't like what you did. So I'm about to get uncovered and respond. And then guess what? Now you got to deal with the consequences of being uncovered. So I choose to be covered. And even when I choose to be uncovered, guess what, y'all? I have a covering that I still have relationship and communication with that say, okay, you got uncovered for a minute, but I'm still here to cover you back again. And that's just that's and that covering is relationship. That covering is communication. That covering is faith in the person that got you covered. Like we go back to having those relationships and friendships with people, those people that you feel covered by, those people that you feel got, that you trust them. Y'all communicate. Y'all have relationship. Y'all believe in each other. Y'all have faith in each other. And at the same time, you all, because Selena brought out that she wanted me to bring up, what does it mean? If you per se get out of pocket, that person that you trust gonna say, that wasn't right, Selena. That wasn't right, Nikita. Now that wasn't right. Now I got your back. But what you said, what you did wasn't right. And so you respect that. We don't always like when our friends, family, whatever, say that, get you together. But guess what? That's somebody that love you, because they're not just going to have you out here acting all crazy, doing anything. You all got that mutual. And that's the same relationship and covenant we have with our covering. He's going to say, hey, these are, you got to keep my commandments. Now you just can't be out here doing, I have rules. I have, my rules are the fruits of the spirit. I want you to be kind. I want you to be loving. I want you to be forgiving. Okay, these are the rules to have relationship with me. If you can't do this to be forgiven, you got to forgive. Now you want to you can't always want from me, but you're not willing to give that out. You want me to forgive? Are you willing to forgive? You want you want me to be patient with you? Are you patient with others? So this is the communication and covering and covenant that we have with God, and the expectation that whatever we need from him, we have to be willing to be that to others. So I'm gonna end right here, y'all. I am done, but look, y'all, I had notes. I was researching, y'all. But I'm not gonna be long because I just really believe in sharing what God gave you, and not too much or not too little. But that's really all that God gave me with being covered. So make sure that you stay covered. Choose to stay covered. And at any moment that you uncover yourself, know that you have a covenant to get that covering back again. So thank y'all. I hope I was able to help somebody. This really did help me. So thank you for asking me, because anytime you have to speak to somebody else, you have to first look in that mirror at yourself before you expose to anybody else. So this was an opportunity for me to reflect and to look in that mirror, and then to come before you, and hopefully you get the help that I was able to receive from this. So thank you again.
Beautifully put, wonderfully said. Like when I shared it, I said make sure y'all tune in, because we feeding y'all soul here. Full course meals, every course, full course meals. Because I don't know, I'm a little full. Hold on. Okay, I'm ready for some more. Miss Nikki, what did you think about the gems that Miss Terry had dropped?
So what she said was truth. She had me. My mind was going while she was talking about covering, because actually God covers us even when we may not be in His will. Sometimes you know how we can go for certain things. We have in our mind what our path and what our life should be, and sometimes there's a saying called "man's rejection is God's protection." And there are some things that we go for that are not for us, and that's covering. You know what I'm saying? And there are things that we aspire to that He don't even have, set for us. He's like, no, don't get ahead of yourself. Let me put you over here. So the covering thing is truth. There's times we put ourselves in situations, and God has told us don't do that, and we still do it, but He covers us and protects us. And sometimes He takes the cover in the back just a little bit, so it's just like when you're growing up, right? You're a kid, and they're like, look, you don't know better, so let me be the protector. That is what God is for us, even when we're grown. And sometimes your parents protect you from things that you haven't seen. And so that's the same thing God does for us. So the covering thing, it doesn't stop. Even if you're not a believer, He's protecting those who probably don't even say they don't believe in Him. They don't even know it. But when it's their time to know, they will. But keeping Him first keeps you protected, first and foremost, in everything that you do. And so everything she said was really, really, really on point.
To God be the glory. That's awesome. It's amazing when you say something and you hear you're saying something, but everyone listening probably got something else, or like Nikita said, her mind was just going while I was talking. Like, yeah, it's just amazing how God works, because He deals with us right where we are and say, okay, this makes sense in this way in my life, or this makes sense in this situation. He can just place exactly what you need, and everybody hears something totally different with one thing that's being
Like, have you ever looked back at something and you like, I can't believe I did that when I was 20 something? Oh, God was protecting me, because, baby, I'm glad He never gave me what I thought I wanted. Because some of these people and some of these men and some of these women that you have been around, you be like, ooh, and later it get revealed why He protected you. or a job he protected you from, or an environment he protected you from,
Come
or a
on.
trip. And you be like, ooh. I remember on my birthday, I had went out, right? You know, in your 20s, you're trying to be cute, you know. Oh, wear my little skirt and this no blizzard. I'm a winter baby, right? And I'm about to turn, you know, I turned 39 this year, right? And I put on a dress and I was like, what was I thinking at 20 wearing a short dress in the winter? Like, I was that hard to have a good time. But the Lord protected me from frostbite with my crazy self. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't have no tights on or nothing, Jesus.
You're like, what my leggings at? What was my leggings
I
at?
didn't have no leggings, no nothing. Just some go-go boots and hopes and dreams, you know.
Nothing but that. I'm definitely, I'm grabbing all the coat that I have a cute coat to go with the cute dress now. Yes, because you're gonna see this. Yes, you're always right in that coat. Yes, but wait till you see me take this coat off. And inside though, where it's warm.
Right.
That part. Now it's like I dress for comfort. Forget being cute.
Exactly.
Like, I'll put the boots on when I get inside. We're gonna wear the gym shoes first. So even you learn to protect yourself and be your covering once God has covered you. Because you be like, as you get older, your mindset changes. It should. You know,
and you said something like, I'm so glad he did not. And there's a scripture about that it says he does not deal with us according to what we deserve. Oh my goodness. You know, and it's because he knows us. You know, sometimes we forget. I don't know that we forget the mind of God is so amazing that he knew what you were going to do at 20 versus 39. He already knows that. So he already deals with us. I'll be 40 in a couple of months, you guys. So he's already dealing with me at 60. He see me at 60. So what the plan that he has for us, if we get in alignment with him, he can have me already set working that plan. So by the time I'm 60, I'm there. If I stay in his will, if I stay connected, if I stay covered, he see me at 60. I don't see it. He sees me at 60. So he's right now at 40 saying, this is the plan to get you to where you need to where I need you to be, Nikita, not where we want to be, because we know what we want, but he knows what's best for us. He knows by 60, this is where you need to be. By 60, this is what I need. This is where I see you. I might have a whole nother vision of my life. And he's like, no, but I got something else. And the only way you're going to know that, you got to stay covered. And at any moment that you get uncovered, realize that. See, David was a man after God's own heart, not because he was perfect, but because he realized he was imperfect. And God is made perfect through our imperfections. So if we constantly know I am imperfect, his strength is made perfect through my imperfections. And that means that I have to constantly recognize that I need him, because I am imperfect, but he is perfect. So I need to stay connected with the perfection of God, because I am imperfect. And so staying connected with perfection keeps me on a path to reach that perfection that God expects. It does not mean you will never make mistakes. It does not mean that you will never stumble. It does not mean that you will never bend, but he can keep you from breaking. It don't mean that you will never trip, but he can keep you from falling. Let me shut up, y'all. Woo!
No, you preaching the word, because there is a song called Strong as Glass by a artist, and she's a female. And glass is hard. You can see through it. But if you put too much pressure on it, it can break.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so sometimes we got to know we're as strong as glass, but we can break.
Yes.
But if you keep God first, it keeps you from breaking as fast as other people around you.
Yes.
Because if some other people around you, you have more strength than, and you don't know it, because it starts here mentally. Mental toughness leads to everything else. So there's plans I had at 20, like, I'm gonna be married by this time. I'm gonna have kids by this time. I'm gonna do this by this time. And God be like, that's cute. That's real cute. You thought that. But that ain't what I got for you. Oh, I'm gonna be a millionaire by this time. He be like, but that ain't even, I ain't say that. So I got these other people I need you to meet first. I need this path that you need to go. I need you to make some mistakes. Because as long as you remember who the source is, you ain't got to worry about anything else. The money gonna come, the family gonna come, everything that's for you. I don't want what nobody else got. I want what he got for me. And that's what I'm going to say before I get up off of here.
Yes.
And get the Cinco de Mayo.
Enjoy yourself.
It is.
Enjoy safely, Queen. responsibly.
Yeah, that I'm like, hold on, Lord. I was gonna take a little sip, not a whole lot of sip. But
Enjoy, Queen. Thank you
but
guys
we are
so
but
much.
I love everything you spoke about. I wish I could stay longer. But yes, I love it. Thank you, Louise.
And y'all are actually segueing us perfectly into Miss Monique Morman's portion, the win. We've been talking about how we've been feeling at different ages, what we was trying to do, what we was trying to accomplish. Guys, like, no, I already got that set for you. I already got that set for you. So let's see, when are we covered? Let's bring in Miss Monique Morman. Hey, Queen.
How y'all doing? Hey. Oh man. I was taking my notes. I'm a good and faithful student, and so I was taking some notes and keeping them nuggets for when I have to reflect back. And powerful, just powerful. Thank you so much, Terry. Thank you, Nikita, for sharing your story of how you were thinking of that, what was going on while Terry was speaking. And thanks, Doc Octopus, because yeah, I'm the same way. I'm gonna stay covered until I get inside, and then I can reveal. But I digress, and I will get on with the task at hand. And I just want to just let you guys know how grateful I am for this moment in time, because I have been segued into the blessings that are on the way. And what do I mean? Well, let's talk about it. Under what conditions? Okay, so that's a loaded question, statement, phrase, and a mantra. You may wonder, why am I setting that up in each category? Because that's how we function in this life. There's always that search for the answer, right? But we're searching endlessly for something on the outside, but it's on the inside. That wind that's happening is inside. You know how the tornadoes come about, the twisters, they take and knock up against each other. That's what's happening on the inside, those winds. So I just want to touch on how it is after Jesus came so that we might be saved. Why are we still questioning his grace and mercy? He gave it to us, which means he suffered endlessly, so that, and I'm not talking about only on the cross. Everything that we encounter each and every day, he had to live through that within a short period of time, just so that we could live life more abundantly. So why are we still asking the question? Why are we still kicking up that dirt, making the wind start getting all up in the uproar? Because we're not confident in the fact that it happened. Because we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. So I'm not talking just because, oh yeah, I know it, I've heard it. You're sitting in inside the church or the synagogue or the sanctuary, wherever you honor and praise your God, and you hear these things over and over again, and you praise him for the blessings, but you have to believe it inside. You have to, because that is what kicks up these winds. So just look at when you were younger, right? You didn't know everything, but when things came to a head, you asked that question and you got the answer from your teacher, you got the answer from your parents, you got the answer because it was on the wall, right? So if we've learned these things, if we've learned his teachings, if we've learned to trust in him, why are those winds still kicking up? Because we have self-doubt. We're human, we're imperfect, but we are victorious when we trust in him, when we give him the glory, when we depend on him. So ask those questions, but ask it to him. He'll give you the answer. I cannot tell you how many times that a question has creeped up in my mind and someone will walk past me and make a statement. And that's my answer. So I've had several surgeries on my legs and my feet. And so at one of my establishments for financial stability, I had a person walk past me, didn't know me from a hill of beans, but he said to me, look at you, still making money and you walking around like that and they paying you? That's right, you blessed. Who says that? God. Who gives you that? God. Because he knows that those winds of doubt are coming. He knows that you are in tribulation over what you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to go, when you're supposed to do it. And so he gives you those answers that you need. All he wants you to do is trust him. Give him that moment of trust just to keep moving forward. He has a plan for you. He has a plan for me. He has a plan for all of us. That's why the sacrifice happened. Even if you think about the story of Abraham, his son, his most precious gift from God. But God said, you know what? I need you to go ahead and take him up. And you guys are going to go up to the mountain. And I need you to sacrifice Isaac for me. And he's like, what? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. My son, the one you gave me, the gift? Okay. And I'm pretty sure up that hill, he's like, yeah, we still going up this hill. And he's like, yeah, you going up that hill. Come on, just go on up and sacrifice your son for me. He knows we struggle with all the blessings that he's given us, but he wants us to understand sometimes he'll ask you to sacrifice something for the next best thing. It was only a test for him, which was great. I'm so happy that it was only a test for him. But it was just to see, where is his faith? Where is his trust? Is it just because I gave him something? And then let's look at Job. Okay, Job was like filled with a whole bunch of stuff. Job was living large. And then in one fell swoop, everything was gone. But he continued to trust and praise God for everything that he was given. He didn't allow the winds of change to alter his trust in God. And that's what we have to do. That's what we have to be more adamant about. And when we fall into that doubt, when we fall into those questions, it's okay. He wants us to be like, this is what's happening. I'm not understanding, scratching our head, trying to figure out what we're supposed to do. Because he's going to answer you. He's going to send somebody. He's going to call you in your sleep and say to you, I got you. So, under what conditions? Every condition. Every condition. Because he knows the outcome. Trust that he knows the outcome. Every storm, every wind that blows It's blowing for a reason. It's blowing to upsweep all the dirt and dust and muck from something else that you don't need. He wants to bring it back into full formation so that you can start to build on every new mountain that you are climbing to get to the promise. And that's what we look for, the promise to be answered. Thank you so much for your time. And I hope that I have honored you all well with explaining under what conditions is that wind kicking.
I love it. I mean, and like I said, you know, we got this crazy weather. And who's covering you in the crazy weather? You gotta trust that you're gonna be covered in the crazy weather.
That's right. That's right.
Let's get some feedback from our live audience member, Jate, on the when and under what conditions are we covered that Miss Monique Morman just laid on heavy for us.
First of all, God is just because I literally this was my message this morning on RockTrue Daily. Literally, I talked about God asking Abraham to sacrifice Isaac, and it was completely out of trust.
Wow.
He never intended for him to kill his son. It was just a thing. Do you trust me? Do you trust me? And also showing us that I provide, because what happened, and I even noticed how when they were going up the hill, Abraham said to the two servants, we are going up here to worship and we will be right back. Yes. So Abraham never doubted God. He might have been like, God, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's gonna happen when we get up to the top of this mountain. But I know that you're going to provide. And he even spoke it. So when at all times, and I even think about the actual winds, like, you know, the physical winds, we are covered under every wind, tornadoes, blizzards, all those things. And when at all times, God is going to provide. And I love when, look, and I was taking notes, like when I tell y'all, like, I feel like I'm at church. Because look, I'm writing on a credit card slip. Okay, I couldn't find no decent paper. I'm writing on empty spots on this piece of mail, y'all. And when you said how God will provide the answer through other people, and how, you know, we'll ask the parent, we'll ask the teacher, and it's right there on the wall. God is just so amazing. He is so amazing. And when you said that a lot of times those winds come pretty much just to clear the path, when you said for the next best thing, I was like, man, come on. All right now. Again, with going back to Abraham. And not in that instance, but trusting God, because anytime he's asking you to give up something, understand we don't serve a God of subtraction, okay? So if he's asking you to give up anything, you're not giving up nothing. We serve the God of multiplication. That's right. So if he is asking you to give up nothing, I mean anything, man, listen, you are about to lose nothing but gain, exceeding and abundantly more than what you even fathom. So let it go to trust him at all time in every wind, and to know that we are covered.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Queen. Oh man, I feel so honored. And just to share the backstory between me and Jate, I had started listening to her messages, and then something pulled me away, and I missed a few. And she told me, don't worry, he always will bring you back at the right moment. And sure enough, every time I need something extra, I need something special, it comes on. So I missed today and didn't know anything about it. So see, that's his divine work too, because had I known, I probably would have messed it up.
And glory to God. He is just, you did amazing, sis. You did amazing. And I was so excited to see you on here. I was so excited.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I know, cause she got all glammed up. I saw her because I was looking. I saw her little thumbnail. I was like, oh, she's doing her hair and stuff. Oh, okay. Let me go twist my little front so I ain't all puffy and. Man, I just want to go do something with myself.
Child, listen, I did my edges before I got on. Look, we was all getting camera ready.
And look, that's from years of being the tomboy I was, ripping and running the streets with everybody. And so one of my friends years ago told me, don't worry, the time is going to come. Every time you turn around, you're going to be trying to put something on, look a little cute, feel a little fancy. So I said, let me show up and show off because my sisters are here. My queens are represented. So I wanted to represent right. So it's all right. It's all right. We all are beautiful queens in his presence. And he lights us all up, no matter what we got on.
You look amazing. You look amazing. Speaking of which, I'm in my P413. I just want to put it out there. I have the culture. I'm rocking the culture, boo.
Listen, plug. Okay, so when Miss Louise was talking about them friends that cover you, listen, RockTrue support, baby. RockTrue support, baby. Look, thank you, Lord, thank you, sis. Yes, we cover each other. Look, even cover each other. Clothing.
To be clothed in your right mind. Hello, rock the coat. Yep. Okay, go ahead, Doc.
Thank you so much for what I got going on here? Oh, I'm about to close something I ain't even supposed to close, holding herself. Look, she was excited too. She was clapping. Monique just set my baby off. She was like, "Yeah, what she said." But we go move it along now to Miss. We got Miss TaiStar. You still here, Miss? Yes, we do. Here we go. So Miss TaiStar will be presenting the Ware. So past, present, future. That covering comes. How long we got it, when we got it for, where we get it from, all of that, we getting all in the business. Now this is our business, so you know what I'm saying, this is our business, so we're gonna mind our business to the fullest extent.
Queen, where art thou? Come hither, Queen.
We might be having some.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, because I know she couldn't hear earlier.
You gotta speak the culture, Queen. You gotta talk that language. Come hither.
I couldn't figure it out. I got it now. Hey y'all. Hey. Thank y'all for having me. I'm so honored to be here. Oh my gosh. For a second I was like, man, y'all really sure y'all want me to be on the show? I was gonna send an inbox like, listen, I don't know if I can do it because I have been tested.
I'm gonna tell you the same thing I tell everybody else. Can't nobody do it like you because you're the only you. That's why there is fellowship required in worship, because you're not gonna see God the way I see God. And I'm not gonna see God the way you see God. And I need to see how you see him so I can see him from some other side. Because I want to see all the sides of God, okay?
Come on. Thank you. I have to come and be super transparent. And I was sitting here, I'm like, God, am I about to be transparent? And God said yes. And I said, okay, Lord, let's do it. So I am here to talk about the Ware, how God covers us in our past, in our present, in our future, everywhere, in our minds, in our depression, in your frustration, just whatever you're going through. So normally when I come on, I had this whole speech. I'd be like, yes, my name is TaiStar on Facebook, but I'm really Dominique Harness. I am your business coach, your global marketing strategist, your teacher, mom, wife, CEO. I have all these titles and I do it every day on Facebook Live and just, wherever I go, whatever I'm doing. Well, today that is not my speech. I am not in the pink house. I am not wearing pink. I don't have on my fedora. I'm just here in my hood because I got to represent that I'm covered, okay? And my yellow. Okay, so let me tell y'all what happened, okay? And I believe this is going to help some people today. So I went to this conference. It was the Mantle Conference. I don't know if y'all heard about it. It was Joshua Giles, John Hannah, Cindy Trim, just some of everybody. So I went, and the first day, John Hannah, he my pastor in Chicago, he said, put a seed in. I said, okay. And I started talking to God. God, listen, I need things to break with this seed. You know how sometimes we be asking for stuff we don't know what we asking for? I'm like, I don't never want to see another zero. I don't want 16 cents. I want my 16 million. I want it now. I was just declaring some stuff. Next day, God tell me don't go to the conference. I said, okay. God tell me don't go home. I said, what? You want me to just stay? Like, where I'm going to live, God? What I'm going to do? So we in Minnesota. It's me. I have my son, my baby Taichi. He was 10 months at the time. Well, he just made like 11 months 3 days ago. I said it like it was a while ago. So I'm like, okay. So I tell the people I'm with, I'm like, God said I can't go home. They said, well, what about your other kids? I said, I guess we got to go get them. We jumped in the car. We ran to Chicago, got them kids, brought them back. I have not been home. I am still where God told me to be at. I have been here for 7 days. Y'all hear me? 7 days. And in these 7 days, we talked about how God covered us in the past, right? Or covers us in our past. So 3 years ago, I was finishing up my master's. And I know my story probably sounds all over the place, but follow me. I was finishing up my master's, and God said, don't take the last class. I said, okay, won't do it. Everybody like, that's silly. Why would you do that? God told me not to take it. I'm not going to take it. So now, the next day, I get offered a job. And guess what saves me? The last class that I did not take. So everything is working together. So now I'm in my present, right? So my husband, he's at home. So let me tell you how I should feel. I should feel lonely. I should feel depressed. I should feel financially drained. We got to do Ubers and we got to, Uber Eats, all of that. I should be overwhelmed. I miss my husband. I miss my mama. I miss my bed. I miss my house. I miss my vehicle. My car is still in Chicago. But when I look at what the word says, I know that I'm covered. Psalms 91. I know that I'm protected. I know I'm a part of a royal priesthood. And in the natural, what I'm going through, or I can't even really say what I'm going through because I don't feel it. And that's what they talk about in the Psalm 91. You're gonna be covered by his wings and he protects you. So although it looks and it may sound crazy to others, I'm here, I'm with my kids, we having a blast. Everything that I can think of, we've been provided with a job, we've been provided with somewhere to stay, we've been provided with a vehicle. Anything that you can think of, we have it. So let me look at my notes. Because I wrote some too. I heard the last person show the notes. I got my notes too. I was studying. So I just want to remind some people that no matter what you're going through, my situation sounds crazy as ever, but no matter what you are going through, the frustration, the depression, God is covering you. And even, sometimes you be like, how's God cover? I feel this way. The enemy be trying to distract us. And that friend that calls and she be like, hey, let's get out the house. Or, when you thinking about doing something crazy and somebody call you and they get your mind off it, that's how God covers us, because he's already sent the help. He's already sent the people. God uses people to bless people. So I like to give homework. So my homework for everybody today is to just go and reevaluate. Like, as women, a lot of times as queens, we want to always give out. We want to do for others. We don't know how to sit back and just receive. But I want everybody to just kind of check their circle and see who God has surrounded you with and who is there to help you and how he's using them. Like, stop trying to do for others for a second. If somebody say, I got your lunch, don't take no, let them cover you and let God use that person to cover you. So that's my message today. And thank y'all for having me.
Sorry, I was writing the homework in the in the notes here. Okay. Whoa. And that's a real thing, because I'm definitely one of those people who are like really not great at receiving. Yep. And it's not even necessarily that I'm like ungrateful. It's that like I don't know. Can you be like overly grateful? Like I feel like indebted to people. Like seriously, like I literally feel like if you just get like I was $1 short and you gave me $1 because I was just so hungry. I needed that sandwich and I was $1 short. And I would feel like I owe you my life at that point. Like like oh yeah, don't worry about it because yeah, you got me with that and $1 to 100. That ain't nothing, girl. You got me that cent. Like because that's how much stuff is like worth to me. Like when I'm doing something like at the time. Like what's that the love languages book and stuff that stuff was very helpful because I realized I'm a acts of service person. Like when you do stuff for me it like really like goes a long way like with me, like especially like if it's something like I was like on the long list to do and you take the thing without like me having to say hey I need this done. It's like I'll be like you care. And that's a beautiful like way to look at stuff. Like I love the story that you gave because a lot of times like we don't see like what like the why we need to do something and a lot of times that stops us. But you don't need to know why all the time. That's what mind your business. Like that and that's why like I catch myself telling myself that all the time. Like why would I mind your business? Just go ahead and do it. Like because obviously it came to you for a reason. You were inspired, you heard you got the light bulb like for a reason. It's nuts. Things don't connect for no reason. And when you get to that, just go and do it. Because the minute you let your mind get in there, your ego kicks in, and all of your past programming. And obviously, if you're trying to change something, your past programming was not helping you get there. So you don't want that to jump in and steer you away from where you're supposed to be going now. Now, that's that past covering. Like, don't worry about all that ain't got nothing to do with what we're doing right now. Okay, don't worry about what's coming because I already got that figured out for you. Just do this right now and you'll get there. Don't worry about what you did. Do this now and you'll get there. You see how that works? I love it. Miss AJ, what did you think about Miss TaiStar laying it on heavy for us with the life? Like, and that's so crazy. Like she came in with the life experience for something that we was doing today. She didn't know that this was gonna happen. Like, yeah, she was ready for a conference, about to go somewhere else, go do another conference, and then boom, got the setup for today's conference.
Oh, I thought Selena was gonna go. But no, it's crazy because just hearing your story and every time I hear you speak and you speak about how God talks to you, what you're going through, God talks to you for each step that you're going and each step that you're building through. It never amazes me because it's like, wow, like I'm always in awe of your message and in awe of how you tell your story and the things that you when you're speaking to God and you're listening to God and how each step of the way he's right there and he's talking to you but you're listening. Like that right there is powerful to me, and I promise, like I've been following you for a little while, so following you and then hearing you today is like it every time it's wow, like and then just listening to you speak about the covering and being covered and constantly being covered, like and everybody can't speak in that way and everybody can't even feel that in the same way that you do, but it never amazes me just how covered you are, and then just your message is always so clear and always on point. So definitely, and I don't know if you saw in the chat, I'm like homework check, message check. Definitely will be doing my homework and definitely just watching the people around you and being mindful of the people around you, because you'll always have somebody pop up. Oh, you listening to that? You following what God said? Like that sounds crazy. You're away from your family, you're away from your kids, your mom, your husband, your babies. And to other people it's like, nah, I'm going home. I'm going to my mom, I'm going to my husband, I'm going to my kids. But it's like, nah, I heard God and that's who I'm listening to. My husband will understand, my kids will understand, my mother will understand, because they're covered too. It's not just you, it's them too. So I love it. Like definitely doing my homework. Definitely, being even more mindful of how, I speak into myself. And then, especially when you talk about your past, your present, and your future, just mindful of leaving that past where it is and walking forward in that message and listening for that message.
And I know Miss Mary Mack got something to say about that.
No, you really struck, a nerve with me. You brought tears to my eyes because first of all, just starting with, the shedding of titles, all this other stuff that don't mean absolutely nothing. Somebody hit up in one of the message asking who everybody was. And I was saying, like, what does it matter who everybody? We all friends. That's all that matter. We are all people out here who are friends of God first and foremost, but we are friends of each other and anybody. That don't mean that we got to know you or, spend time with you or have an extensive relationship with you over time or anything like that. We are all friends from day one. That's true RockTrue day ones, but just shedding the titles and also all that extra is not even necessary. What is that truly add value to? You know what I'm saying? And so understanding how God just breaks you down and just kind of like shed all that other stuff that you've put on for the world. You know what I'm saying? It's not even necessary or even profiting your own becoming. And so, to break down those walls and barriers first and foremost, but then just actually listening to God and understanding, like, again, it's just other people out here. He got other people out here on this crazy, seem like suicide mission. Like it get crazier and crazier as it goes, and so many people don't even understand. Like your own people don't even understand. Your own people think you're crazy, like, because you following what you know. Like it ain't like you just like something that you know of. No, I know for myself his word is true. I gotta go in this direction. I gotta go to the places that he has sent me. I gotta go. There's somebody, even if it's just this one person that's there, that I gotta go. And I have to go and I have to be and not be who I made myself up to be. Like the whole thing, I believe one of the things we did was like uncover girl. It's like uncover girl, take all that stuff off and uncover and be you. So when you're talking about coming on here straight up transparent, being who you are, that's exactly what it is to rock the culture, just being, and you just like seriously just struck a nerve with me as far as going to these unfamiliar places, going just what God tell you, not worrying about anything. I said, like this moment on in my life really started in January. January 2nd was the change for me. You know what I'm saying? And it started for me. And I said, you know what? This is where I am with God. I'm not in the driver's seat no more. I'm not even the passenger seat. I am all the way in the back with my headphones on, with my notebook, my pen. I'm drawing, I'm coloring, I'm listening to my music. I am the child again. I don't care where we're going. I'm not even asking him no more, are we there yet? That conversation is dead. I just know wherever we stop, wherever we go, we're going to the gas station. If we stopping to get something to eat, whatever it is, I need to make sure I rock the culture. I need to make sure I am doing exactly what my father told me to do. Nobody had to tell me how to be a Kennedy, so nobody needs to tell me how to be his. You know what I'm saying? So when we go into this gas station, I better make sure I'm repping him and only him and not myself. And whenever we get back in the car, I don't know. We may go left, we may go right, but whatever it is, I know what's this one thing to be rock true. I'm growing ye. I'm going ye therefore, without all these extra questions and all these other ideas that I bring to the table. I am following my father's voice. I know it to be my father's voice. And I'm going, I don't care how crazy the plan is. So you definitely like just struck a nerve. I was going to fall back and get, alluded to AJ. But it was like, even when Doc was just like, okay, I'm coming back to you. God, like, okay, we're going to try this one more time. What did I just say? So we're going to see if you're going to listen to, well, you just said you listening. You listening? All right, so let's see if you listening. I said, say something. And I didn't even really know what it was I was going to say, besides what he tell me to say. You know what I'm saying? So sis, thank you. Like you really, not only everybody before you too, like it was a build up for, I cry. Shut up, AJ. I cry, okay? Everybody knows this, all right? So nobody has to say anything. Don't say anything, Doc. I cry. But it was a build-up of everybody who has said something so far. You guys. All right. I don't want to talk.
Yes. Love it. Love it. When the queens come for fellowship, we feast. Always. I always love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much, Miss TaiStar, for sharing something personal, because I could tell you weren't in the most comfortable space when you first started, but you sat in it you bloom from it, and we definitely appreciate the transparency and you sharing that, because we tend to have all of these titles necessarily for covering. You don't need titles for covering. Like when you get out from behind the titles, you find out that you were bigger than the title you tried to hide behind the whole time. So we really appreciate you for sharing and helping us realize a lot of our own truths and uncoverings.
No problem. Thank y'all so much for having me.
And next up, we have Miss. Oh, is she here? Yeah, she's here. Miss Lakisha Mitchell-Buffington with what? How? Oh, the blood and the revelation. Oh, this should be good right here. Oh yeah. Now don't come in here acting like you all intimidated and stuff by what was said before, because like I said, you the only one that's doing the you, okay? So, so go ahead and keep the fire going.
Oh my goodness. So first of all, you guys, I just got to recap. So let me go all the way back to the beginning and say I am putting everything into everything that is from God, that is a blessing. Selena K, that came from you. Doc, I'm minding my own business. I'm minding my own business over here. And it's not a negative thing. I love that new connotation. And then Miss Monique said, sometimes those winds come, you guys, and I just wrote a whole paragraph from that. I was like, winds are not always for harm, but you know what? They're there to bring that hope, to clean that debris, to clean that discouragement, to clean away the deterrences, the distractions. As we evaluate our circles, Tay, so that he can reveal the things that he needs to reveal to us. You know what? And my last statement says, so like the sun, I can, even though I stand alone, I can shine. So I just had to recap all of that to get to, because I'm like you guys, I've been taking notes and just feeling just full over here. And I'm like, this has just been, everybody just came in and spoke like they did. And I'm like, man, look at this path, right? Look at this path that's been created. So my task, again, to get back to how does God cover us? Who is covering us? God cover us, as Selena K mentioned to me when we were chatting through text. He covered us through the blood, but yes, he also covers us through revelations. And sometimes we need those winds, those storms to come through, because we're so blinded. We got our jaded glasses on, y'all. I'm like some of y'all with some tears and my mascara, and y'all can't even see me. So I did all the mascara and went and got my cut got chopped up today. Got my earrings on, and so he had to shed all that so I could be comfortable and he could really use me, right? So he had to bring those winds through, you guys. So I came in my revelation, and talking about revelation, I wanted to share from my own experience. I'm gonna start with God will reveal to us first our own truth. He will reveal to us who we are, what we exist to do, where we need to go, when we need to move, where we need to go, and how we're going to get there. He's going to reveal that to us through our assignment and our alignment. I'm kind of like Tay. Back in October 2021, I went to this conference. Now, I knew, y'all, and I'm going to tell you just a little backstory. I didn't have the money to buy the ticket, but I bought it at 3 o'clock in the morning in June, because I heard God say, you going to this conference. Now, I didn't know how I was going to pay for the hotel, the travel, the gas, or anything to get there, but I knew I was going to be at that conference. And that was the most revealing experience I had in 2021. Really needed it. I was reassigned and realigned, and God had to work with me through my own truth to find for myself, to accept that help, to heal, and to find my hope. And with that reassignment and that realignment, I finally started seeing who I was and why I existed, and where, and that knew that it was time for me to move, where I was going to, and how I was going to get there. And he used me to write my book that I just launched in January, a book that I fought him on, because I didn't want to be up, Doc. I didn't want to write. I was like, I don't want to do this, but I did, and it has been such a powerful storm, a good storm and a wind, and it has cleared a path. And it has that I have used that book. That book has been a tool to help clear some debris and some discouragement, and oh my goodness, clearing out some circles. I call it pruning. It's been pruning. So he has revealed those things to me, but he will also reveal to us the truth of others. Come on, Tay, when you say reevaluate that circle. So yes, God will show us what people's true intentions are. Now, at that same conference, I took what was then I thought was my best friend. My brother told me to leave her at home. She don't want to go. He said she really don't want to go. Leave her at home. Well, you know what? I was hard-headed. I didn't listen to my brother, didn't listen to my husband, and I took her anyway, you guys. She rolled back home with me, but our friendship, what was left of our friendship, stayed in Nashville. What was left of our friendship stayed in Nashville. I was so hot. What was I on? I-40? I can't think. You guys, I was coming from Tennessee back to Mississippi, so I guess I was somewhere on I-40, I think. I was so hot driving home, and I'm thank Prince. May rest his soul. Prince had to bring me on in. I prayed that whole CD all the way back to Mississippi because I was just hot at what had happened, and I wanted to say this and say that and say this. As Miss Terry said, I want to pull my cover off and say, but I was like, I didn't listen to my brother in the beginning, but I did listen to him on the way back home. I said, I'm not going to. He said, don't say anything. That's going to be too long. That's too long of a drive to say anything. But we left that friendship. And when I did get home and I talked to my husband about it, and I prayed about it. And y'all, this is someone that I was talking to on a daily basis, 2, 3, 4 times a day, right? When I prayed about it, it was almost like it was a deliverance. It wasn't even a 12-step program. I didn't have an urge to pick up the phone and dial that number. I had heard 2 weeks had passed, and she finally called me and said, well, I haven't heard from you. I said, yeah. I think that was about the gist of my sentence. But God will reveal to you the intentions of others toward you. You will be able to see what their motives are. You'll be able to understand their mood, and you will be able to intercept their thoughts. Because I tell people all the time, if you really pay attention, people will tell you and show you how they feel about you. They will tell you and show you exactly how they feel about you. And I had to see that. And like I said, I took what I thought was my best friend to Nashville with me to a conference, and the person rolled back home, but the friendship stayed. What was left of the friendship is still back in Nashville. I don't know if she want to go get it, but I ain't that worried about it. But anyway, and God will also, you guys, he will reveal to us the truth of our journey. He will reveal the truth to us of our journey. And we all know everyone is not meant to travel with us on our journey anyways, and I had to embrace that. I had to accept that. And on your journey, and this is what I have fallen in love with, he will reveal to you the purpose, the people, and the progression. He will reveal to you why you care, why you do, why you serve, and why you work. And then he'll reveal to you who you care about, who you care for, who you're doing this work for, who you're going to serve. And here's the big part, the new connections, the replacements, the people who are going to help you do it. Because the people that we lose, I heard a pastor speak the other day, God is sending you replacements. People, beautiful, lovely women like you guys are those replacements that he talks about. So if I'd never been on this journey, and I think I connected with you guys by just congratulating Tay for, I think the first time we met, that's how we connected, right? That's that journey. And then he will reveal the progression. And I think for me, I internalize that as the overall transformation that is meant for you to help bring to other people. That's that progression. Where you are meant to take them, help them get to, where you're meant to help them heal. I think how you said heal, grow to. That's what I said. I told you I like that. Where you're meant to grow to. And so I think I just want to kind of just culminate with saying when God assigned me to my purpose, to my business, I knew I was in Isaiah 61:1, and when I read that verse, I think I just jumped straight up out the bed. I was like, that's my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to do. My duty, my job is to help the poor, whether it could be poor of spirit, poor of mind. It ain't always got to be money. And I have learned that. That's my job, is to help women that are poor of spirit, poor of heart, poor of mind, poor, poor of hand. And then my job is to also help to mend those broken hearts of the women, whether it's from discouragement, whether it's from sexual abuse, whether it's from neglect, abandonment issues. And you guys, I can speak in all of those spaces. And then he also said in Isaiah 61, it closes with said to bring hope to those that felt like they're held hostage. I tell people all the day, I was born to inspire women to get unstuck. If I can't tell you anything else about me, I can tell you that one statement, and I believe I was born to inspire women, to inspire them to get unstuck. But as I go back and digress a little bit, first he had to reveal to me my own truth. I had to find myself. I had to find my identity. I had to wait until my identity was revealed to me. And you guys, and I talk about this in my book, sometimes we will allow our circumstances, the company we keep, that complacency that we feel comfortable where we are, of self, we will allow all of that to overshadow what God really has out there for us to do. And I think Ms. Monique said it, and we'll be praying and we'll be praising, but we really not believing, we're not moving, right? Because we really not believing, we just really just stuck, and your destiny just sitting out there waiting on you. The people you need to touch are sitting out there waiting on you, but you first got to accept your own truth when he reveals it to you. Steve Harvey said when you don't hear him, sometimes he'll just nudge you, and then when he just finally say, you know what, this hard-headed joker, let me just kick him straight on off that ledge. And that's when we
Oh no, I think we had a connection issue.
Well, it was so funny. He said, let me just kick it straight off that ledge.
Right, right on off the screen.
Right on time.
Jesus got jokes. I tell you, he is the king of comedy. He is the king of comedy. That was hilarious. Kick you straight off that ledge. Boop. And then she'll be back now. Look.
Well, there you go. There we go. Back to it.
Oh my goodness, am I still on?
There you go.
Yeah.
You left off that kick you dead off that ledge, and then we saw you go.
That's where I went up. It's this, look, it's that weather. Doc, you've been talking about the weather. It's the weather here. Seriously, he done kicked me off the ledge. Kicked me off the ledge, so I got kicked off the show. But I just wanted to close, you guys. I'm thankful for you all allowing me to share my perspective of how God covers us through revelation. And I just want to leave, and you know what? I just know this is a divine connection, because I too was talking about David. I have David in my notes, right? I've been spending the last month, I think, in 2 Samuel learning more about David. But I said, like King David, none of us are perfect, but God never expects us to be perfect. David was far from perfect. But I also believe, like, what he favored so much in him that David realized, I can't do anything without God. And he always returned to him. Whether it was in repentance or praise, he returned back. He kept that connection. So I honestly say that is our best defense in life, is just to pray for it, work through it, shine in it. And my challenge, my charge is 4 things. Hope for the best outcome, have faith in the grace for your journey, trust the pruning process, and let God do what he does best, and that's cover you. Thank you, ladies.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna have to check your book out too, because like I said, I've been feeling stuck for 6-7 months now. So I'm reaching out for all the tools I can get. And like I said, when you on that path, all the tools that you need, they're gonna show up. As long as you're on that path, all the tools will show up. So you showed up. So I'm like, okay, well, be another tool there. Throw it in my tool bag. And definitely the pruning. Like even when you think about like real pruning with plants and stuff, like some plants actually have to lose those branches to grow. Like especially with flowering plants and fruiting plants, it takes a lot of energy for the plant to bear fruit, for it to have beautiful bloom and flowers. It takes a lot of energy for that. And so when there's extra branches, that's energy that can't go into making fruit, that can't go into blooming flowers. So you have to prune the bush to get the big, beautiful roses, to get the big, sweet, juicy fruit. The pruning is necessary. And it also takes skill. You can't just snip wherever. You have to actually have intention when you go in to prune. If you see a long dead branch or something, you got to snip that off. If you see something that got a whole bunch of leaves but it doesn't look like it's budding any flowers, you got to snip that off. Like you got to, and then you got to do it at the close to the branch as you can, because if you leave a little bit off, the plant will actually regrow that branch that you cut off, because plants just do that. And so the pruning process is a process of pure intention, and you definitely have to do it correctly and take your time. Miss Jate, quit running around. No, come on.
Listen, you had your baby on your lap, so you already know how this go. Okay, you already know how this go. I had to move, so I ain't want to be like getting up on the camera and all that. Like I had to move. But y'all, first of all, Lakisha, awesome job. Awesome job. I gotta go back to take because I did not get to comment. Amazing testimony. Amazing testimony. And it was such a coincidence that right after Miss Monique had hit on Abraham, what was Abraham's whole story about? Trusting. And for you to come on, follow up with how you follow and trusted God on something that just made no sense. But it was like, I don't care. I don't know what this is about, but yo, God, okay, I heard you. So he definitely is working. Miss Lakisha, it's so funny because John 15:5 pops in my head when you said, I didn't hear the name that you said because, like I said, I was upstairs. But you said it wasn't about that he was perfect, but it was about the fact that he realized that he couldn't do anything without God, and how we need to realize that we can't do anything without God, and we need him. And so John 15:5 popped in my head. Apart from me, you can do nothing. I am divine. You are the branches. Then you said something about, he's pruning. Then Doc gets on there like, yo, in order to grow, it's the process, and this and this has to take place. And like that John 15:5 just stuck in my head. And that's what it's all about. Just trusting him, like, and understanding what we're talking about, because we are covered. We're doing all these topics with the when, the where, the what, but all of that, when we think about all of those things, it all leads back to him. We are covered, so none of that matters. The what, I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't matter. I don't know when this is going to happen or unhappen, but it doesn't matter because of him. I don't know where he's leading me, but it doesn't matter because I know that I'm covered. You know what I mean? I'm part of this amazing group called Kingdom Vibes, and this we were being transparent about, like when you have a vision, it's like, well, I don't know how. I had this vision, but I don't really got to figure out how it's going to manifest, and, when, and all this, where, and all this. And this girl was like, I don't know. I might not know the exact what, the when, and the where, and even the how. But all I know is the who, and that's God. So after that, I don't care about nothing else. So he definitely got us covered. This has been, listen, y'all. We being blessed because we had church on Thursday, y'all. We had church on a whole Thursday.
We are the church queen.
I'm not gonna lie, like I did not expect. I can't, of course, because of all the amazing women that was on the panel. I knew that we were going to get empowered, but I did not know that I was going to be preached to, y'all. So thank you, Lord, thank y'all, because y'all really, he has really been showing up to y'all for seriously.
And Miss Lakisha, we got a special request. Can you repeat She wanted her Play-Doh. Can you repeat your 4?
Yes. I said my charge is to hope for the best, have faith in the grace for your journey, trust the pruning process, and let God do what he does best, and that's cover you.
Wait, what?
Why you like that? Man, she was like, how did I end up here?
That's how I kept being like, why am I big? Get me down.
Where's Will when you need him? Because he don't have the cat pushing all the buttons. That's what happens when you're pushing the buttons.
I love y'all's energy.
It's always Selena. Usually I'm the one pushing the buttons and ending stuff. But Selena over there doing stuff.
I don't even know how I got out. I was just like, okay, what?
Thank you so much, Miss Lakisha, for sharing those jewels. I'll definitely be doing a follow-up rewatch of this so I can take my notes, because I can't take notes and host and play with her Play-Doh with her at the same time. I'm momming right now. But our last guest, it looks like we weren't able to get a hold of Miss Deanna. Is that Deanna? Yep, for the To What Extent. But we do have Miss Carolyn Wilson. What?
Tamlin. We got Deanna. We got.
Oh, she popped in. Where's she at?
Oh,
right up.
Like what? Okay.
Right. My bad.
She popped in on time. You may not want her when she come, but you definitely gonna want her when she show up.
I know, right? Deanna will be going over the To What Extent, the cross, and there's so much to be said there. So I just know this is what the first course of dessert right here. Go ahead and take it away, Deanna.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can't see you. I don't know but it's okay.
It's fine. I'm gonna leave everything where it is.
Come on, Queen, let's get it.
Long as you can hear me.
That's right.
I want to say thank you guys for having me here. I truly, truly appreciate it. Everything has been so good, so rich. God is just an awesome God. I just been over here shouting. I want to get up and dance, but and just give him a praise. So I just thank him for everything that was said. And I just thank you guys. And I honor you guys for this moment. Selena had gave me the extent of the cross. And when I looked up the word extent, which I already kind of, knew the definition, but it said an area that's covered. And so when I looked that up and I looked at that word and I said, God, if I go with this, that means you can only cover a little bit. But there is no beginning to you. There is no end to you. So there's nothing that you cannot cover. I mean, you just, I can't even explain it. I thought about the example. If you live in Indiana, you know about Pimpsco, and that's really Nipsco. I just call it Pimpsco because y'all know how that go if y'all live this way. And I thought about if you call them and you ask them for an extension, they can only give you a limited time of what they can extend that to. But you might have a week or you might have 2 weeks. We want that money or we cutting you off. But that's not who God is. We can say, God, I messed up. I did this. And he can still say, but come on. And he don't give you an extended time. He don't tell you, oh, you got a week or you got 2 weeks to get this together and I'm just dropping you. I'm cutting you off. That's not the God that we serve. And so I even thought about the thieves on the cross. And how both of them, one on the right side, one on the left, and they call them malefactors. And they didn't even have a name. And when people throw you away or they feel you a certain way, that's the only thing they can call you by. If nobody knew, if y'all knew my story, from where I came from and who I was called, because and I'm about to get real transparent because that's just who I am. But I was the girl that was caught in promiscuity. I was the girl that didn't care about being a side chick. I was the girl that didn't care about selling dope. I was the girl that was abused and used in many ways. And so I probably was the girl that would have never been anything. But when I met Jesus, when I laid everything on the cross, that's why it's important that, we can't prostitute the altar. And we have to remember what the cross means, because Jesus said, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. And so when you think about the cross, it was lifted. It was shown in a space that everybody could see it. And there were those that were mocking. There were those that were crying. There were those that were trying to figure it out. And even now, we still have the same. There are those that are mocked. There are those that will cry. There were those that are trying to figure it out. But those two thieves, one was mocking Jesus. You was that close to God, and you didn't even know how to reach for him. You were sitting on the side of him, and you didn't even know how to say, cover me. And and then you have the other one that says to him, and to the one that's mocking the other thing, to say, how you talking about him and you in the same situation? And I said, God, that's what we do in church. We'll talk about somebody else and where they at and what they done been through, and forgot that we done been there too. Did you forget how God covered you? Did you forget how God brought you out? How dare you try to mock somebody else and where they are? And then we telling them, hey, we'll tell them, oh, get baptized in Jesus' name. Oh, join the church, do this. And then we try to conform them to us. We don't conform them to the cross. When the thief on the cross said, Jesus, remember me, he knew who he was talking to. Remember me. Now, he done spent his whole life. I don't know what he stole for. I don't know what he stole. But what if he was the man that stole because his children needed bread and water? Or what if we don't know what he stole for. But at that moment, he could say, God, remember me. He knew who he was. And so yet, when you think about everything that you've been through, and now I'm about to go somewhere, and we got the nerve to tell people that the cross and covering don't belong to them. We can really tell the homosexual that. We can tell the lesbian that. We can tell the liar, the thief, that one caught in promiscuity, the drug dealer. We can tell them either you in or you out. And we snatch the cross from them. We snatch the covering from them. There's no extension in God. He goes beyond the beyond, the beyond, the beyond. So he knew. I knew you was in that too. And I knew you was there too. I saw you in that place too. We talk about an omnipresent God, and you think he don't know that I was sleeping and creeping and dipping and dabbing? He already knows. But if I could get to him and say, God, remember me, cover me, protect me. And that's what that thief did. Now you can get to the cross just like the other thief did and mock and make fun and don't receive. That ain't my business. I just need to get you there. Now, what you do with it when it's in your hands is on you. So I ain't got no problem talking to the homosexual, to the lesbian, to the thief, to the liar, to the ones that were just like me, the drug dealers, the young lady in promiscuity, the thought over there, if that's what we want to say now, because we use new words. But the Bible said that there's nothing new under the sun. It was hoes then and it's hoes now. That's it. And yet they still covered. They still deserve the cross. They still have access to the cross. The cross is fair playing ground. It's just a matter of what you're going to do when you get there. Either you're going to receive or you're going to mock. But God's extension and his covering, it goes beyond the beyond, the beyond. I can't tell you the extent of the cross. My mind can't even fathom the extent of the cross. I just got to get there daily. It don't stop because, oh, now I'm saved and God, I trust you and I'm going to church and I'm reading my Bible. I got to stay at the cross daily. I got to ask for my covering daily. So that's it for me.
Woo! Woo! Come on.
You go first, Doc, but I want to be in a number.
Yeah, I already know. I see. Look. She tried. No, because you called yourself covering the camera up. I guess you thought we were going to see you crying. We synced you. We synced it. It's okay. So
be quiet,
man. Oh, when you come through, you come through. I already knew she was gonna come. I already knew she was gonna come with nothing but fire. And the thing is that I love that you brought that up because there's always somebody somewhere trying to say what somebody else deserves when they don't even know what they deserve for themselves. How you gonna tell me what I deserve or don't deserve or shouldn't have, don't have, won't have, and you ain't even got what you're supposed to have? And that is the crux of minding your own business. Because guess what? We all gonna be standing by that cross. But if you decide to mock, that ain't none of my business. If you decide to turn your head in disbelief, that ain't none of my business.
Come on.
I can. Hey, you going to the cross? Well, how do you get there? Okay, come on. I can show you the way. But once we get there, what you do that's your business. And that's it. And that's the thing. And a lot of times the mocking isn't just at Jesus on the cross. It's not just at the covering that's offered. It's also at the people that's asking for the covering. And do you know what happens when you do that? You lose your own covering, mocking somebody else asking for one. How you gonna ask for a covering? You got all these kids out of wedlock. Oh my goodness. How you gonna ask for covering and you was a beater, abuser, a cheater, and a thief and all? Huh? Why are you minding somebody else's business? Why are you questioning the strength of the covering that God is offering? Because when you do that, that's you saying like God isn't able to cover this person. God don't have the power to cover this person because they're so dirty, they so filthy, they so this, they so that. Ain't nothing under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. Why? Because it has already been and always will be. Because what? Who got a beginning and an end? Not God. God always is. There is no beginning or end to God. God gonna be here long after we've gone and no longer even thought of. But we worried about what he doing, minding his business. And we can't even mind our own business. Come on, Selena. Come on. Come on.
Sis, no. Oh my God. I mean, I'm talking about everything you hit. Oh my God. But what just really struck with me was the homosexual culture. And it is the culture in which we have to infiltrate. And you don't do that by talking about them. You don't, first of all, when you talk about everybody being in the same boat, everybody being sick, everybody having the same dis-ease, everybody has the same ailment. And we have the nerve to sit back and talk about each other and be like, oh, but at least mine ain't that. But when you look at homosexuality, don't look at it from them just doing what they're doing on the outside. Look at it from the fact that they're doing on the outside what you attempt to cover on the inside, which is actually what's revealing what's going on within you. That's number one. Then on top of that, anything that is in opposition to God, any mentality that is backward thinking from him is homosexual in nature. So don't just condemn them because of their acts. Condemn yourself also because of your thoughts. And if you look at it, you may not have to commit it, but you thought it. So your thoughts are just as far from them as their actions. So don't be so quick to judge. And I only bring them up because it seems like that is the one sin that society has decided is the one that just, okay, yes, he did say that is blasphemy. Yes, he did, but he didn't say that they wasn't up for not receiving redemption. He didn't say that they couldn't turn their life around. If you look at the culture, everybody hypersexualized. You got people who are children. AJ, we work in human services. They babies. The only reason they can say I was born like that is because they was touched like that from the gate. And if you tank from the womb, what else do you expect? So our job is to teach. Me and Jate, when we were talking about infiltrating the culture, and you infiltrated with love, because again, we're going out here and listen, one thing I've learned with this, with doing the radio and interviewing different people, one thing I've learned is how religious you can truly be, and you don't even know it. And those things, encountering different people, will bring that out of you. And as I'm doing interviews, I stopped researching the people like that, because when I start getting into the business of who they are, or rather their bedrooms, because they'll display it. I ain't searching for it. They'll display it themselves. And my religiosity will kick in like, oh, okay, I can't highlight them. But why not? Why can't I highlight them, but I can highlight somebody over here selling drugs on the low? Why can't I highlight them, but I can highlight somebody over here fornicating? Why can't I highlight? So it's like, hold on, but God, in that, he corrects me. I thank God for the moments of correction that I'm able to love my brother like God told us to love each other. And so me and Jate, we came up with this as a collective together in our conversation. Don't talk about me, talk to me. That's how you say. That's how you go ye therefore, and you teaching all the nations his love, his truth. It's not like you said, we trying to indoctrinate people into ourselves. He ain't told nobody to be like you. And stop trying to collect fans. Stop trying to even be a fanatic of Christ. Be a follower, be a friend to people. And so I love everything that you said, sis, because it hits home, and we got to stop hating each other. And hatred is, he gave you the works of the flesh. He gave you 19, and anything that looks like this, anything that mocks the appearance of, you are not to do. It's hatred for your brother. And he covered everything else. All these sins that religion want to point to, your fornication, your drinking, your smoking, your cussing, all this stuff that religiosity points to, he covered that on the cross. You are now responsible for your morality, how you treat your brother, how you are forgiving and unforgiving. And it starts in your home. You can't be out here forgiving everybody in the street, but you are ill towards your brother at the crib, or your husband, or your children. It started at home. It started, what he say, sweep around your own front door. When they did one of the biggest rebuilding with Nehemiah, he said, no, we don't got to go. We're going to go over here on this side of the city. We're going to go on this side. That wasn't the plan. The plan was fix your own house and we'll meet in the street. Fix your own house, because if you actually do the study and the research, everything is rooted. The cause of all the social problems that we have is rooted in the home. We're failing in the home. There's lack of order in our homes. And if we fix and repair, uproot the problem. Don't deal with these symptoms. Uproot the problem that's in our home. We can definitely stop all the bloodshed that's starting to spill out into our streets. So, sis, my Lord, thank you, Lord. I 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 thank you, Lord. Anybody else before we bring in empowerment with Miss Carolyn Whiskers? I know she about to. She about to. I don't even know. I can't even get mad straight for this. She about to. But my queen, my Lord.
Selena, all I want to say is it's crazy,
girl,
to know the conversation we had and to get the teaching from today.
Sis.
Oh.
Sis.
You know, it's just listening to everybody. It's like, man, from one conversation, you get a whole fulfillment teaching. Like, I don't care how many synonyms you could come with. One conversation, one amazing graphic arts to today, priceless. Okay, I'm ready for Miss Carolyn. That's all I got.
Yes, because you know her wrap up will always be phenomenal.
Listen, I'm ready.
Thanks again, Miss Deanna, for coming through. Because baby, the whole it's been heavy, but that just broke the stage. And so now we cleared it all out. So we cracked it down. We're gonna clear it all out and let the flowers bloom. That's my my poetic styling. Sorry, I'm clicking buttons. Miss Carolyn, welcome.
What's going on, queens and kings behind the scene? What's going on? Listen. So wait a minute. So Doc, this one's for you, all for you. I'm going to drink all this water and all my business, okay?
Yes.
There you go. That's for you. So listen, man, when I tell you, how we say, I heard this guy that come on, he'd be like, man, listen, you know, everybody got to have a tagline, right? He'd be like, man, listen. But yo, let me tell ladies, queens, right? Like, get information. Y'all was ready. Y'all was ready. Like Jate put in there, she ready. No, here. Yeah, we was ready, right? She was ready. All of you were ready. I was trying to write down the notes, but I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep up. That's another Beyonce-ism, right? I couldn't keep up, right? I couldn't catch my breath. It's like, what is going on? Like, when I tell you the fire was brought, and I kept saying to myself, I said, listen, Lord, she got me doing some empowerment, playing on these words. I'm going to let it sit. And I'm going to let it sit. Because you align things for me, because we heard the queen. See, we're all queens on here today, right? You know I had to dig out. I had to go dig something out, right? I had to go dig out something, right? Okay. All right. I had to go dig out my mini crown, right? Because my larger crown is placed away because it's being protected. You see what I'm saying? Because my crown is always protected, and because it's valuable, right? Because it has substance. It has something, because yes, it covers me, but you notice that royalty only brings out that special crown for special occasions. Okay, that's right. Special crown for special occasions. They don't wear that same crown every day. When you follow royalty, when you follow them over the monarchs and everything, all the different places around the world, there's different crowns for different occasions, but you always are wearing your crown. Even your invisible one, we're always wearing our crown. So empowerment. Empowerment, when you say, you don't know who covers me. So now, is that a question or is that a statement? Is that a question or is that a statement? See, a lot of you ladies came on tonight and you gave it as a statement, but I beg to differ that at one time, and many that are listening now, or they may listen in the future to the replay, that's a question. Because you don't know who covers me? Because I don't even know. You can't know if I don't know. So if I don't know who covers me, how can I expect for you to know who covers me? If I don't know that I have this crown, that I have my special crown, that I have all my different crowns, and I walk accordingly, whether it's on my head or not, then how are you going to not know? Because people are going to treat you the way you show up. People are going to expect from you based on what you give them. So if you give them nothing, then they require nothing of you. Empowerment. So when we ask these questions, when I said, is this a question or is this a statement? See, but if you've done, I heard the queen, I said Lakisha. It was so many queens, everybody's queen, Lakisha. Everyone, I kept saying, whoa, she brought it. And then the next one, I was like, whoa, she brought. I had to turn my camera, so let me go make my dinner. I said, Lord have mercy, they're making me hungry. I'm hungry, but I'm being fed. I'm being fed the whole time. that I said, Lord, you're going to give me what needs to be given. I don't need to follow up what everybody else said, because what everybody else said is what you gave them. So I'm going to tell you what he gave me, because we are all definitely on a divine assignment. So empowerment. We ask those questions. Once again, you don't know who covered me, but I can make it as a statement to let you know that you don't know who covers me. See, when someone try to come to me side-eyed and act like they don't want to treat me the way I know I should be treated, you don't know who covered me. You wanna know why? Because you don't know my story. Because if you knew my story, if you knew all of my story, if you knew every single last bit of my story, you will fall back. You will be scared, because there's no way. No way. We heard about the fire, right? We heard, I think one of the ladies talked about those 3 boys, right? How can you go through the fire and come out unscathed? How can you go through the fire and not even be scorched? How can you go through the fire and you don't have a stench? Like, there could be a fire doors away from your own house, your own dwelling, but yet your house can be full of smoke. And you can receive the damage based on the smoke. See, but you could go through the fire and you don't have anything, no residual effect, no smoke, no nothing, because you're covered. See, but a lot of times you don't even know you're covered. So once again, is that a question or is that a statement? Empowerment. So we ask these questions: who, what, why, when, where. You know, I'm a survivor of sexual child abuse. Yes, I am. I can say it with a smile, right? By my father, by my biological human father. See, but I know that my heavenly father kept me covered. So although my earthly father did not truly understand his assignment, and it was a spirit that took over, that came through him, that had to come and give it to me. See, we talked about seeds that were planted. See, and I kept saying, Lord, okay, tell me what it is you want me to say. So I have to go to where he sends me to, and I have to look for the signs. I have to look for the messages that he gives me. And I'm like, right on time, always, because I understand who covers me. So as I'm flipping through my book and the pages just open, I go to where the pages land, because that's where the spirit is guiding me. I don't have to search for it. And I like what Jate said. She said, we asked all those questions. We said, okay, I'm a firm believer. I just, long as I know my what, my who, my why, and I don't have to worry about the how, because I know he's going to take care of my how. God's going to take care of my how, but God is the who. So once I already know about the who, I don't care about everything else. See, but the page I landed on after I'd already figured out everything else, or at least what the Spirit's guided me to, was the strongholds of the past. The strongholds, your strongholds, that they're called a stronghold because they have a stronghold on you. They have a stronghold on you where you don't know who cover you. So hence why you don't know who covers me. Empowerment. But I'm going to tell you that it says Luke right here, because I'm looking at this book right here. It says Luke 9:62, right? It says, Jesus replied, I'm going to tell you what he has told us. He said, no one who puts his hand to the plow. And I heard a lot of people talking about sowing and talking about seeds and talking about trees and talking about things that were planted and how they grow. See, but watch this. See, if you put your hand on a plow because you're plowing because you need to plant some seeds, right? But once again, you don't know who covered me. Is that a question or is that a statement? See, but if you still are holding on to the strongholds of your past, then no one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God. So you can't look forward if you're still looking back. You can't move forward if you're still being tethered to what's holding you back. It's because you don't know your own story. You don't know who covers you. Because if you understood who covers you, then you would understand the assignment. You would understand that what you went through was a gift, because you know God uses the meek and the mild. He doesn't use the ones who are already righteous. See, because we are righteous through God. And so I'm looking at this again. I'm like, wow, strongholds will pass. That has nothing to do with other things that you told me to tell the ladies today and the men today. But I was like, no, yeah, it has every bit of it. Empowerment. Because empowerment. Someone said, I choose to be covered. Now, how did she know that? I think Terry said that. I choose to be covered. How do I choose to be covered? Because he covers me. We had the queen came on with her hoodie on, and I was like, look at her coming in here, coming in the room covered. She gonna show you I'm covered. Yes, I am. It don't matter about my title, it don't matter about anything, but I'm covered. Empowerment. So the teacher in me has to go to some things, right? See, God is there when you know that he covers you, because I kept hearing a lot of the queens say that he covers me. I know who covers me. He got my front, my back, my side, my side to side. Hey, that made me think about a little kid song, right? You know, to the front, to the back, to the side. That's what God got you all the way covered, all the way around, right? And the reason why is because it's the goodness of God. That's the other page that opened up for me, the goodness of God. And it says Romans 8:28. Come on now. We know that for those who love God, all things that work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. And see, I don't want to mess up anything in here, so I have to look and read it because I'm not perfect. See, but I know that God has led me to this to make sure that someone understood that we all have a purpose because we are covered, even based on the things that may have happened to us in the past, even if the seeds were planted by some ill factor that was not planted by us. Even if it's generational, even if we don't even understand it, and it was like, is it a question or is it a statement? See, but the more that you follow and you start to trust, because we heard trust, and understand the will of God in your life, or your higher power, or whatever it is you seem to deem to believe, then you have no choice but to then understand that he has you covered. So now, that's the goodness of God. See, but I want to tell you this before I go, because once again, here's the teacher in me. Teacher in me always got to look stuff up. See, I got notes all over the place because y'all had me like, had me twisted in the game. I'm sitting here going, empowerment. It's empowerment. I'm being empowered by him. I'm being empowered by him to do the good works. I'm being empowered by him to trust him. I'm being empowered by him to know that I'm covered. I'm being empowered by him to be able to tell my story. I'm being empowered by him to understand my authority. Because you know where the authority comes from? So empowerment is a play on the twist of the word empowerment. So what does empowerment mean? Empowerment means the authority or power given to someone. I'm going to repeat that for those in the back of the room. I'm going to repeat that to the ones who had the mute button on. I'm going to repeat that to somebody that went to the bathroom. We know you went to the bathroom and you got you on mute, but that's okay. I'm going to repeat that again. I'm going to repeat that again, that the authority means, the empowerment means authority or power given to someone. So if we have empowerment, he is giving us the authority and giving us the power to understand our assignment and understand that it doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter what you went through, that you need to continue to sow and you look forward. You look forward. You stay focused and you look forward. You don't look back because what's behind you is behind you. Everything that's for you is ahead of you. And God has given you the direction. You just have to follow that path and you have to trust it. Empowerment. So a lot of times when we look for answers, ladies, as I'm about to close this out, right? A lot of times when we look for answers, we go to what? Let me see you put it in the chat. What do we go to when we look for something? Just in general, what do we look for? Let me see if I can pop some of these things up. I don't care if you in our private chat, if you in a regular chat. What do we go to when we want to look for an answer? Boom. Go ahead, Jate. Google. We're going to Google it. We're going to Google everything. We're going to Google this. We're going to Google that. We're going to Google. We're going to Google it. But I'm gonna share something with you. I had to laugh at this because it caught my attention, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Once again, where the pages fell. So we go to Google for everything. See, but I'm gonna give you two things. We talked about you got to be able to sow, but you got to be able to sow because you got to trust and you got to look forward, and then you can't let the things that from your past hold you back. You have to understand who covers you. You have to understand that you're given the authority, because you ever hear the story, and it's a song, I'm walking in authority, right? Or I'm standing, whatever, or I'm standing in authority. See, you sometimes I never hear people say them both. They're either standing or they're walking. You got to do both. You have to stand in it, of course, but you need to be walking in it at all times because the authority was given by him. That's the empowerment laid upon you. So watch this. Google. Next time you go to Google, I need you to remember that Psalms 32:8 says, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. Didn't I say he gives us a path? See, then the other is Proverbs 20:18. See, your plans succeed through good counsel. See, he covers you. He's your counselor. He's your everything. Empowerment. He's giving you the authority to rule over many, because he's giving you the authority, because you're trusting in him. He's going to give you the path. It says it right here. It says it. See, but when you keep looking back, you miss the sign. You miss your exit. You so busy looking in the rearview mirror to see why you up so close to me, because they telling you get out the way, because you're not trusting. Like, I'm excited. I want to know, okay, where you got me. Okay, this is where you want me to go, Lord. So I had to have you guide me to give the instructions for this evening. So when you Google something, see, you need to go counsel without Google. But that's what this title says, counsel without Google. But I'm gonna tell you to Google it. And you know what you're gonna do when you Google it? Thank you, Holy Spirit, activate. That's what I'm saying. Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Remember these strongholds, Luke 9:62. Once again, I said, no one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God. You can't sow the seeds and look back. But I want you, when you want to know the answers, but as long as you know who's going to give you the answers, who's going to show you how to do the answers, who's going to give you the answer that you need to go Google. So I need you to Google it. When you Google, I need you to go to God to Google. When you go to God to Google, Google basically now, and I want you every time now when you look at Google and be like, ho, ho, ho. So Google is God only offers greatness, love, and empowerment in your life. So empowerment is when you got to go to Google, you have to know that God only offers greatness, love, and empowerment in your life. So that is the empowerment. That is the authority that he has given you, that he has given all of us. So I want you to take that to Google, and that's all I got. I'm out.
Nothing
Yes,
but
I'm
the sheesh. She came
Yo,
heavy with it.
Yo, you know that's a shirt. You know we make shirts over here. We make clothing. That's, oh my God. I said mic drop. That's it. I knew it was a mic drop.
But the funny thing about Google is, I'm so glad you brought that up, because people go and Google stuff, and you do know that like the first like couple, sometimes they're ads. So sometimes people pay to get to show up first in the list of telling you the first wrong answer, and then there's the most visited. So that means a lot of clickbait ends up in there, a lot of speculation ends up in there, the famous blogs and stuff that has a lot of traffic that they probably paid for ends up in there. You don't actually find good, useful stuff on Google until you have to either be very specific with your search. You can't search a very broad term because you will get all types of trash. So you have to be very specific with your search.
You have to be specific.
And then you also have to
specific.
Be discerning of the website or the source of that information that's being provided. That's why I just like kind of look at, especially when we don't let me get into a scientific debate on Facebook. I stopped doing this, mind you. I'm a changed woman now. Okay,
Say it isn't so. Say it isn't so, Doc. Say it isn't so.
But
I truly do not believe that. But okay, if you want to say that, then okay.
I have $100,000 in student loan that tells me that my answer is correct and yours is wrong. Well, I Googled it and you're wrong. And now you're loud and wrong. Oh, well, you just got the white man's education. Yes, that's how I know I'm right, because they're not going to tell me nothing wrong. I'm sitting right next to the person that they want to tell something right to. So you just
let me tell you. Like, when I tell you that, here's the thing. When Micah said, is it a question or is it a statement? And see, there are moments in everyone's life where it becomes either or, right? And I know even for me, this is because I heard you talk about diamonds and pressure. And I was just talking about that earlier. Pressure makes diamonds because we're already a gem. You just need the pressure to get it out. And then a lot of times there's things that will stretch you. It will stretch you beyond your ability that you even know that you have, right? And I'm going to break this down and can't get my words out, child, please. In tune of, I was challenged. This whole week has been the past 7 days, and I heard 7 days too in here too tonight. But the past 7 days, if I was to break down my past 7 days and how much I've been stretched, I mean, how much I've been pushed beyond my limits, and how I've been going in places and spaces just within my own self, right? And allowing God to continue to be that allowing God to continue to, allow my plans to succeed, and all the things that we heard from the ladies this evening, right? The one thing that scared me the most, and I'm the fearless magnified educator, but the one thing that frightened me the most, because I was like, you want me to do what? They entrusted me to do what? I got the call to do a prayer call. I don't do that. I was like, I don't do that. I'm like, all right, but I can talk. I can leave a message, and I know everything is coming through you. And I know that there's different seasons and different roads you got to take. And sometimes, you're on that, you ever, once again, you Google something or you take the Waze, everyone like Waze, right? Because Waze gives you the right way. See, but here's the problem with Waze. Waze always gives you a shortcut, and it allows you to go somewhere else when there's a detour and a blockage in the road. But maybe that blockage is supposed to be there for you, but we always trying to get around it. Maybe that's not your way. We trying to find our own way. But at the end of the day, you're still going to get to your destination. It's just going to take a little longer, because there's a purpose in the pause. See, we don't learn to pause. We don't learn to sit still. Oh, Selena, like, whoa! I saw that there's a purpose in the pause. So this whole week, I had to have a pause, right? When I talk about being stretched, and when I had to talk about working with different people, and I had to even told the lady this morning that I did another interview for. I think in the past 7 days, let's see, today alone, I did 3 events today, just today. I'm like cuckoo Fran and Ali right about now. But guess what? The message is different from everything that I did. I did something yesterday. I did something the day before. When I did the message on Saturday, that was the prayer call. And then I did another thing last Thursday. So that's my 7 days, right? And so, but the thing, like I said, was the thing on Saturday. I was like, Lord, I trust you. Because when they offered it to me, I said, sure, I'll do it. So I knew I had to do it. And I was like, all right, okay, see, but I'm here to serve. See, I'm here to plow and to plant these seeds, but I'm not looking back. I know that you're going to give me this message, and you're going to use me in such a way that's going to stretch me. And I'm going to believe in the message that you give me, and I'm going to believe in the directions that you send me, and I'm going to believe, and I'm going to trust you because of empowerment, because you're giving me the authority to be able to speak your word. and to be able to reach people where they're at. And it doesn't matter if they're in the church, they're out the church, they're on the corner, it don't matter. Because we heard the sister say it don't matter. Because according to society, I shouldn't be anywhere near any of these things. I shouldn't even be here talking to you right now. See, but I trust in him. I trust in the fact that I'm here for a purpose. I can count on my finger how many times, I can count on my hands how many encounters that I have encountered that would have taken my life. But God had other plans, and he still does. Even earlier this year, I was sick for 2 months. 2 months. Just got finished celebrating my 52nd birthday milestone. My mother never made it to 52. She passed 2 months shy of her 52nd birthday. I was on a mission that I'm going to make it to 52 and beyond. So I need to make some changes within me, which is going to then, that inside is going to match that outside, because we can cover the outside up real nice. And I like how Selena said, just come as you are. See, but it's the inside we don't want to fix. See, but I knew I needed to fix everything on the inside so that way the outside and the inside can match. Because I knew I needed to be here for those who need me the most. My children, my family, my neighborhood, my community, all of you. So going through this time, and I'm like, okay, I'm excited. I reached 52. I'm like, I made it. No one understood the burden that was on my heart. The closer I got to it, I was silent with it. I never said anything. See, but the closer I got to it, and I had to embrace it, I'm going to make it, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it with a vengeance, and I'm going to be here. And I'm here. And then here we go. I'm celebrating. I'm so excited. I'm happy. I'm doing some things. I've got my book launch, and I'm touching people. I'm sewing. I'm not looking back. I got women I'm working with from all around the world, globally, on this latest project. I'm in the middle of something. I'm like, Lord, I'm doing your work. Yes, yes, yes. Then I start not feeling well. But then I push and I push and I push. But then I still don't feel well. Then I felt better for a while. And I was like, okay, that's all it was. And people kept trying to say it's what it is. And I'm like, no, it's not. I'm not claiming any of that. Because I know, my God, he got stuff for me to do. And then eventually I had to make myself go to went to urgent care. And I found out that I had pneumonia. It was bad, but I was still walking in it. And I'm like, they kept calling me and telling me and putting fear in me, saying, you got to go to the hospital. And I'm like, my spirit was telling me, don't you go. I wouldn't go. So, but instead I stayed home. And the whole time I stayed home, that was my pause. See, there's a purpose for your pause. And the queen had gave all, that was so profound. I got to watch this replay when she said something about those P's. Those P's was on point. And so in that moment, in those time that I had to sit still, it allowed me to really, like I heard people say, evaluate the people that's around you, the people that's for you, the things that no longer serve my soul, because my soul was crying. So I had to sit still. And if it meant I couldn't breathe, so I could have life. So I can have life in him ever asking, because he was giving me empowerment in those moments. And so I go through all of that and I come out and I'm like, you know what? What else you need me to do? Because I'm going to keep trusting everything you have me to do, because you've gotten me this far and you're going to keep me even further, because we got work to do. So I know without a shadow of a doubt, I've always been clear on my assignment, but if right now, crystal clear, because I'm going to tell you, that whole Google, that came to me while I was listening to you ladies. I just was like, when I opened up this book and it literally said, seek counsel with Google. And I'm like, huh? Why we got to seek counsel with Google? And then then I read it again and I said, oh, don't not to use Google. And then it was just like Spirit just said, okay, Google, what that stand for. And I was like, okay, there we go. So when you allow yourself to be used, God will use you in ways that you would never, ever expect. My message that I gave to the ladies and the men that were clergy and all people from one of these big mega churches that they had me on their prayer call was that you got to have your blessings in adversity. And I'm going to leave this with you as I close out. Have blessings in your adversity, Jeremiah 29:11. Have no doubt, John 20:27. And just know that there's victory in your yielding because of the second rest that he gives you. And that's Matthew 11:28. So listen, ladies, empowerment all day, every day. She ready, him ready. He's waiting on all of us because we all have something that we are assigned to do. The teacher has given us the assignment. Are you going to turn it in? School bell has rang. Are you going to turn it in? Because one day you won't have the opportunity to. And you are going to meet the person that you were supposed to be. And it's going to be too late. So that's my charge to all of you. Follow empowerment. He'll never leave you wrong because he got you covered.
Woo! Heavy is light.
I was going to say, I'm overwhelmed. Literally, I'm not even joking, y'all.
Seriously.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm serious. Like, I'm so serious.
Yeah.
Can y'all come on with me so that way it's not just me? I want to see all of you.
Oh, you only see you?
I only see me. Put all of y'all up here.
Oh.
Thank you.
On the side. Yeah.
I was on the side. Thank you.
No, Jate, expound on that real quick.
Yeah.
And obviously in a good way, but like when I literally tell you, like, my entire midsection feels so heavy. I'm so serious. Like from my shoulders, like to my waist, I feel just so, but not in a bad way, like a heavy, but I just feel so overwhelmed because we have been given so much information, so much empowerment. And like I said, I'm gonna be honest that I know this was gonna be dope, that I know this was gonna be amazing, guys. But I did not know that I was going to get what I got tonight. I couldn't have a picture of this. Like seriously, I couldn't have. I couldn't have like so many gems. Like Doc said, like this is something that you have to go back and rewatch because there was just so much, like to the full, running over. And I know like this was not for nothing. No. I needed this in so many ways. Like the bits and pieces. Like I needed this. And do you know like when you has anybody ever like been going through a difficult time, whatever, and you go to church, you're like, oh, I needed that. But you know you needed something before you got there. Mm-hmm. Like I just was coming, like I said, to like, oh, these beautiful ladies, and I know it's gonna be dope and but I got things that I didn't even per se know that I needed. I heard things that I either knew I needed to hear or didn't even know I needed to hear. But when I heard it was like, oh yeah, you needed to hear that, yo. Yeah. Mary, when you talked about first of all, Miss Deanna, when you were speaking on and this person and that person, and then Mary, when you was like how it's not till you are put in certain situations that your religion shows up.
Queen.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. And I humbly say this, but for so long, and this grace and this understanding and this just forgiveness came through and going through crazy situations to the point where I was forgiven and I was showing grace and I was showing understanding to the point I was being called stupid. Man, I never. But I was grateful because I'm like, you know what? now, God, I get it. I get it. You had me go through those things so that I could love like you, that I can forgive like you, that I can show grace, mercy, and understand that no, I'm not accepting and justifying what you did, but man, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand why you did it. It ain't okay, but man, I understand why you did it. So now in these last couple of weeks, I'm not gonna lie. Even when I was listening to you, Mary, I was like, God has been showing me mouth control because I no longer fight with my hands, right? But he has been revealing to me through some situations my religion that I didn't think I had, okay?
Come on, sis.
That I didn't think I had, has been showing up in a sense of frustration with people and like, man, you supposed to know better. And it's from a good place, like, man, you better than what you're doing. I want you to see the cross. But how they gonna see the cross when my reaction to them is frustration?
Come on, Queen.
You know what I mean? And so that religion, no, I'm not judging, and no, I'm not this, man, I just love you. That's like, okay, even when somebody used the example of a parent with a child, you just want them. It's like, yo, man, I see who you are. I see what you can be. And I'm just trying to pull that out of you. And that's where it comes from in me. But I got to understand, he even had me think about the word meek and gentle. You ain't never going to get the results you're praying for by it showing up in frustration. And in religion, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And in religion that I didn't even know I had. Mary, we talked. It's funny because then after you said that, you talked about what we talked about. I'm like, I'm the one that said that. I said that.
Yeah.
Yet in the last couple of weeks, I've been finding myself frustrated with people and their ways. Not out of judgment, but out of love. But is that love, yo?
Come on, Queen, teach.
But is that love? So, man, this was crazy. This was crazy in a good way.
Come on, sis.
I can concur. This is definitely crazy because I'm like just being grateful and thankful, right? Just it is Thursday, our Thankful Thursday. Transformation, renewal of your mind. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind. But it's literally, like I said, being stretched beyond. There was no way that I thought I would have been able to give a word off the cuff and off the dome like that, right? Because I'm telling you, because I'm like, Lord, what is it you want me to do with this? Okay, empowerment. All right, okay, like the other queen says, I could come on here and be like, yeah, I'm the fearless magnified educator, featured on, da 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 da, and on this, with the whole bio that I have, right? But that wasn't required, right? And that wasn't necessary. It wasn't required, and it wasn't necessary. It wasn't required and it wasn't necessary. And the reason why all of those things are there is only because of him and his empowerment that he's given me, and I've trusted him in this process. And that's what allowed the doors to open, because I trust and I understand my story, and I get my story, and I'm proud of my story. What? How can you be proud of being molested by your father? Because I am. Because I had to go through these things in order to allow me to be the vessel and to be the light so someone else can find their way. And God is going to entrust me with this. See, here's the thing. The things that come to me are not because of me. They're because of him, because he's empowering me. He has given me the vision. He has given me the blueprint. He has given me all the instructions, all the material. He's given me everything to build. All I have to do is just obey. All I have to do is just follow the instructions, and don't pretend and don't look at it and say, oh, I got it, and put it together. And now you piece it together like IKEA and it all falling apart. Because you sitting there trying to piece it together. Oh, I got this. No, you don't. You ain't got it. I know I ain't got it. And I still got pieces that are missing sometimes. Okay. But even with that, I'm learning to trust all along the process. And I'm like, okay, I will admit, I am not a person that can spit scriptures. That is not me. But I'm familiar where they're at, and I know where. I use the materials and I use the resources that are given to me, whether it's the book that God has allowed me to write, whether it's the movie that God has allowed me to come on now. Like, I ain't think about anytime I get placed in the room See, I don't have to make a seat at the table. The seat is not even ready for me. I can just get placed there because I'm like, Lord, why you got me here? Because guess what? If God puts you in a place and space, it's because he needs you there. So pay attention because it's going to be for something. It may not be at that moment, but this is a lesson. There's lessons and blessings in everything. Talk about the person is like, oh man, they was in my life and woof, man, that was a lesson. Yeah, it was. And it was also your blessing. And guess what? Your blessing is still your lesson. Then you're like, why does this stuff keep coming back up? Because you didn't learn the first time it came around.
You omitted formula. No, for real, because when you omit formula, first of all, omissions are lies. That's number one. You omitted formula and you think, oh, okay, now that I got it, I can start from where I was at. No, not in the kingdom. Go back to on Martin. It was like,
and you have to be in practice with it. You have to continue to put the formula together, and you have to keep seeing how it works, how it reacts, what it does. Maybe I need a little bit more of this, a little bit less. You can't just say this is the ingredients, that's the ingredients, and then I'm gonna just let it sit on the shelf, and then 5 years later, oh, okay, I got the ingredients. Yo, them things, shelf life is over. Should have been through it out. You need new ingredients. Matter of fact, they made new and improved versions. They don't even use that no more. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop playing. Like, that's part of it. And that's where, I'm just, like I said, I'm sitting back and I'm going, whoo, Lord, you did it again. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you for trusting me with the vision. See, the thing is, God entrusts you with the dream, with the vision, because he entrusts you to execute it in the way he sees fit, not you, him. So he's giving you the way, but we don't listen to the way. We got to go turn on the ways to give us the shortcuts, so he can give us the detours, so he can give us all the skinny and give us every play-by-play. We ain't supposed to know the play-by-play. We're supposed to just trust. We're supposed to have a now faith. We're supposed to just believe that, God, if you brought me to it, you're going to bring me through it. You're not going to take me through something that you don't want me intentionally to go through. Whether it's for my lesson or it's for my blessing, they're both interchangeable. So, but it takes a level of self-awareness. You have to understand yourself and your placement in yourself and what God is doing through you. And when you can take yourself out of that part and allow the kingdom to be have dominion. I'm messing my words up, but y'all figure out what I'm saying. No, so listen, just let God take over control, and then you'll be fine. See, that's when I had to know to stop, because I'm like, Carolyn, you ain't even making sense right now. Shut up. Okay.
Miss Monique, let's get some wrap up and final thoughts from you, because I know you got some. I seen your face because I was like, look, she listened.
I saw her rocking back and forth like.
I just have to say that when he wants to give us a word, he always sets it up so that you can understand it clearly and completely. I used to think that it only happened through the ministers at church, because, if you listen on the radio and on the way to church and they give their sermon, it's like, okay, I heard what they were talking about. You get to church and it's like, oh, okay, is this the continuation? Yes, it is, because this is what he's trying to convey. And that's what happened tonight. It just was this smooth transition from one message to the next, and then on and continued on. And then he brought us back around again in order to understand it's not about what you said, but what I give you to say.
Come on.
It's not about what you think people need to hear. It's what I know they need.
Come on.
And so he uses us as that vessel. And I've just been on like cloud nine since Selena messaged me and asked me to be a part of this amazing event because it just let me know that I'm amongst good company. I have wait. What's my homework? So I have checked my circle. Okay. I have checked my circle. And I am in awe of the circle that he has blessed me to be with. And a lot of us haven't been in the same space together yet.
Yeah. Ain't that crazy?
But what a hallelujah party it's gonna be.
Yes.
Okay. And so I am just so excited for that moment. And I'm just waiting so I can be like, thank you, Lord. Thank you for this blessing. Thank you for giving me the support that I need. And we will be able to resound that to each other.
Yes.
And that's what I have.
Yes. AJ, if you listening, RockTrue Queens Retreat, you always taking the trip. You need to go ahead and go and plan this for us. Have some middle ground.
Listen, that's my lane. I like to plan.
All right.
Here you go.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. You said that was your lane. I missed everything.
No, I'm saying, that's my lane. I love to plan a good trip.
That's right.
That's cost effective, but we're gonna have loads of fun and definitely, seriously, I will definitely do that. You know me. I got you.
Thank you.
But just to, I can't even touch base on everything from today. I'm still just in awe of just everybody's message, like Miss Monique was saying, how it tied into, one conversation to the next one. And, like I put in our chat, it started literally from one conversation to a whole life snatching, get your mind right session. And you didn't even know you was about to get your whole head snatched and put back, get your whole body shook and set right, all in it's been more than 2 hours. So all in, one session. Like, man, it's like, you know what? Like, oh, okay, that was good. Like, okay, then the next one, dang, that was good too. Like, I gotta go back and watch the whole thing just because I couldn't even really take notes, just listening in awe of everybody's message, and everybody's message tied to another. And it's just like, like you just catch your breath after each one, like, like, man, so full, so overwhelmed, but in the best way possible. Could not ask for a better conference. So I cannot wait to plan our retreat.
Yes. Thank you.
And so I've been wearing this shirt today, and I got this shirt. I got it at Target. Tough as a mother. Okay. And I was thinking about this shirt, and I was like, there's actually a lot of women who aren't, physical mothers, like they haven't born children.
Yeah.
But at one point in time, I wasn't a mother. I didn't have kids my whole life. So, and then it's like I was just thinking about like that space, like when you don't know what you are until you become that thing.
Come on, sis. Yeah.
And the woman that I was before I had my daughter was exactly the woman I needed to be in order to have my daughter. Because even when I was giving birth to her, it was just like I was like, you make this seem like so difficult. Like this is literally what I'm thinking while I'm pushing the person out. I was like, oh, this isn't that bad. Like I'm more worried about like about stuff getting stretched out of place or something, but like painful. Like, it isn't that painful. It's not that bad. Like uncomfortable. It wasn't. It was like a burning sensation, a little discomfort. And that was
burning.
Yeah,
not my story.
Probably.
Burning.
But it's the person that I was.
Don't try it.
This is what she upset about. Because this the second one she done brought me. She has 3 now. 3 of them. I'm not opening more of these.
Why not?
When you got see this?
Why not?
No, because she's gonna dry them all out, and then she's not gonna have nothing to play with.
Some more. It's Play-Doh. It's $1, Doc. We just talking about you supplying to every need. Can you supply the need?
He got $1. You think? Okay, so according to his riches and glory,
you better thank Mary. Thank Mary
my
for that.
queen, foot. You know I got your back. And speaking of kingdom law, sis, when Carolyn was talking about not knowing all the scriptures, do you think every lawyer know every place in the books where they find law? No, they research it.
Yep.
So, kingdom law professor. Research. That's
you know how representation is online, child. Don't even. It ain't even no use. Don't even. Wait till we end.
Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, now that I got her situated with the Play-Doh. So the point that I was making with that is that whoever you were before you were trying to become, or you were walking in, whatever you were walking in, is exactly who you needed to be in order to get to where you were. Because when you get to that thing that you have to get through, or you have to get over, or you have to endure, the person that you come out as on the other side required the person that you were when you started out that thing, when you walked into that thing, when you got the task, when you had the obstacle to overcome. The person that you were before that is exactly the person that was prepared to do the thing, that was prepared to overcome the obstacle. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on the other side of it. Like, and then we forget to look back even on our past with that same grace. And that's a lot of times that's where the stress from the past comes from, because it's like you can't change it. So why are you regretting? What's the regret for? Like, it's already done, it's already been there. And then when you think about, well, I could have did this, but you didn't, because that's not the person you were when you encountered the thing. And if you had done that instead of, you wouldn't be the person you are now. So are you grateful for who you are now or not? So if you like who you are now, then why wouldn't you like who you were?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We have to be compassionate on all levels, in all time frames. God is not bound by time. We're the ones that's sitting in time.
Come on,
Queen. Worried about days and minutes and hours and stuff like that. God don't have none of that going on. God is the same person.
Teach.
When you came out the womb, that's the same person that God is seeing when you making the mistakes.
Teach, Queen.
Struggling to get over whatever hump. When you feeling like you ready to break. Name one thing that actually broke you.
Teach.
Don't worry. I'll wait.
I wait too, sis.
Like you were, oh, I was broken. No, you weren't, because here you are, all in one piece. Look at that. Mm. You probably felt like you was broken in that moment, but you weren't.
Come on. Come on.
Because we're not built to be broken. We're not built to break.
Come on, Queen.
We were made in his image. Name one time God broke. Right. Exactly. You can't.
Okay. Come on, Queen, with it.
You waiting for yourself. Come on. Point.
I thought you said you was evolved. Wait a minute. That was the old Dot came out. She was like, you can't. Okay. I knew it. I knew it.
Come on, debunk these myths, Queen. Debunk.
Because I'm just trying to, I sit and I think, and I just try and make it all make sense. And I'm like, it can't all make sense at the same time when you talking about I'm not this, but you say I am this. So I either am or I'm not. And that's literally that. Like, yeah, you always becoming something. Yes, because we're always changing. We're always choosing what we want to be at any given moment. So you're always becoming, but you always already are.
Thank you.
And whatever you're doing, whenever you're doing it, is exactly what you need to be doing.
Thank you.
And then when you look back at that point in time and you're like, oh, well, what was I even doing that for? I don't know. You tell me. Where are you now? Well, there's your answer.
There you go. Teach.
Nice.
Teach. Nutritional value to RockTrue. That is absolute.
All of that. Oh, and that reminds me of the other point when Miss Carolyn was talking about the ingredients and you got to tweak stuff and you got to remeasure it. That's how all life systems work. Every single thing that has matter, that has a body, that lives in equilibrium.
Yeah.
So you can't be all one thing at any point in time, ever. As long as you are living, breathing in a physical body, that will never be the case, because that is just not how the physical world works.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do when you pray and you in spirit, that's your business. But in the physical plane, everything lives in equilibrium. So if you are putting good stuff in, then your equilibrium is going to shift to accommodate that.
Yeah.
If you're putting mostly bad stuff in, your equilibrium is going to shift to accommodate that. So if you're looking at your life, if you're looking at the things around you, the people around you, and there's something that you don't like, well, guess what? That is your equilibrium. That is a reflection of what you are adding to the equation. If you want to balance things more on the other side, you have to add it, but you also have to understand it's going to balance back the other way.
Come on.
So you can't have the good without the bad. That's
sis.
duality of everything. There's always another side to everything. You have to take it all together. It's all, you can't pick and choose. Well, I'll just no. You either want it or you don't.
Teach.
What they say, too much is given, much is tested.
Yes.
That's why. Because the more you receive, the more you have to be able to maintain.
Come on.
The more you're asking for, the more you have to be able to give. Not just willing, you have to actually be able to give it. Because there's a difference between will and ability. All right? We know this. Okay, we see.
But wait a minute. I'm gonna make it a step even further. Because when you give, you gotta give, you gotta be a cheerful giver, because God loves a cheerful giver.
Come on.
You can't give saying that you're giving.
Nope. Not grudgingly. Not grudgingly.
I need. I just don't even feel like I'm going to sleep tonight. Like,
because you will get checked so fast. You will get checked so fast. How do I know? Because it happened to me.
Man, because look,
y'all just keep
that
pouring.
Overflow. You gotta take the time to sit and pause, because if you don't, you will.
Girl, he pump brakes. He pump brakes. But again, if you on a pump brake, it's with purpose. It's with his purpose. Like a lot of people like to say, I should have been further down. No. You're timely. You're right where he needed you to be. You may think you're not perfect in this moment. In this very moment, according to God, you are perfect for him. You never had to be. And perfection is in love. You know what I'm saying? It's not in your acts and deeds. He knew what you was gonna do yesterday, today, and the stuff you don't even know what you're gonna do tomorrow. And he paid for it all. It's all covered. It's like I promise you, like it's kingdom care. Like you just swipe that card. You ain't gotta worry about it. You go pick whatever you want on the shelf. It's kingdom care. It's covered. Don't worry about that. But what you do worry about is the things that he has empowered you to do, which is love his way.
Yep.
Love his way. You can do that. And that is what you go before him. Not about all this other stuff. You're going to go before him about your morality, how you treat your brother, how you love one another. He ain't concerned with everything else. If he was, then why would Christ have to come? Why would he need to fulfill law? It doesn't make sense. He came for this just cause, for this just reason. And because of your weakness, it makes him stronger. That's the grand part. Like if you don't go through all the lessons in life, then you don't need a teacher. I love being in class. And with us, we are around the world. We are around the world right now. We don't even talk to each other every single day. And it's crazy how we come together and we all in the same classroom. We've been all talking to God about the same thing. He's been showing us the same thing. And what I've learned is that you ain't never ahead of anybody. You only ahead of the people that ain't going nowhere. But everybody else that's growing and going, we sitting right in the same classroom. But you over there in Philly, and then you over there in Ohio, and then you over there in Indiana. We're right in the same classroom, though, learning the same lessons our way. And that's what I was going to say a little earlier about how we all have the same ailment. We all got the same sin sick soul. The only difference is not in our prescription, but how much of a dosage. That's why your prescription is yours. You ain't supposed to give your prescription to your cousin, because it's tailored for you, for your weight, for your mass, and for your age. All that stuff is tailored for you. So your cousin can't take your prescription. What's needed for you, so that the swings is best fit for you as your obstacle course. And then you need the monkey bars. It's tailored for you. You may need more attention and I may not. You may be in fast track. I may need to go in the ER and have surgery, or I may need to stay overnight. But it's all different, but we all sick. So ain't no point of us sitting there pointing blame at each other, or talking about each other. And then one thing I just thank you, Lord, because I experienced the situation. A friend called me and she was saying she overheard somebody talking about her. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing when you're talking about folks is, one, you don't know who covered them, so you don't know who they know. That's number one. Number two, you don't know how it makes that person feel inside. And like somebody said earlier, you adding, you compounding the stuff that's already there, and it's already stuff that they gotta overcome. They overcoming out the stuff from their childhood already. So the last thing they need is somebody else to come along in the appearance of a friend to go ahead and just add to the stuff, add to their self-doubt, add to the hatred, yo. Like it's unnecessary. It's just we got to get to a point of loving each other as written, as prescribed, yo. Like helping each other, not looking for anything else but to do what it is he told us to do, yo. And I'm with you, Jate. Ditch this religion. We have been taught religious ways, man. We have been taught to hate our brothers, and we guilty of the same stuff. That's the crazy part. It's all the same. I mean, this is crazy. It's all the same. Like, I mean, he just really showing me. But I thank God for this journey. I thank God for all of you all. Everybody who's not, up here today. Everybody, Miss Louise, Miss Ty and Lakisha, Deanna, who else? Miss Monique. Oh my God. Even Miss Doretha, who did not show. However, the who was made apparent. The who was made apparent. She ain't say lesser, Miss Doretha. Like, you made it plain and clear. Why do I have to discuss? He made it plain and clear. Who? And with all of us, like, thank you guys so much. Thank you, RockTrue Nation. Like, we moved. Listen, I haven't officially announced. I guess anybody that hears it here today, but we have our first international host. I don't know many shows that have international hosts. They may feature somebody from another country or interview somebody from another country, but to have another host, that means we are technically in a place our feet have never touched it, seated in Nigeria. This guy has been following us for over a year. And he's explosive. Anybody read his text in the group? This man is killing the game out here. And we are officially seated. He is placed at my sister's birthday passed. And I tell people, we so busy trying to give our children cars, clothes, and all this other stuff for their birthdays. And I want to leave this in my will. Man, listen. When God gives his children gifts, when a king gives his gift, he gives countries. France is because of Franco. He gives countries. I told my sister, we got a country for your birthday. Ain't no telling. Everybody else ain't got birthdays. They don't tell her what other countries he's gonna give. But we got a country, yo. This is the So I thank you guys, Miss Carolyn. Come on. The Google. Come on, Queen. Like, come on, Queen. Really? Like, I mean, like, come on, sis. Like, with the impact, and I feel you on, like, I'm flowing with what God want me to say, not anything. Stop living a life that is that's scripted, and live a life that's prescribed. Man, listen, y'all did amazing, mind-blowing things today. Thank you again, RockTrue Nation, like queens, like look at what God is doing through us as we expand, Jate, as you go ye. You know what I'm saying? You and May, continue on, sis. Continue on in RockTrue and Queen. Make change within the miles and radius that he give you both. You know what I'm saying? I'm honored. I can't wait to see y'all first show. I see y'all cute. Oh, y'all cute. And so I can't wait. I'm super excited about what God is really doing through you all and through us all. Miss Monique, I'm telling you, I got to get settled. God is just kind of so much with so much with just life, but it's okay. I want to syndicate shows, and you are definitely Miss Carolyn as well. Y'all YouTube shows are up for syndication for me. Like once I get into where we can syndicate in our off week, you guys shows. I want you guys, shows in the nation because you bring such empowering messages. You know what I'm saying? I don't get an opportunity to watch a lot of different things just because, again, but I know why I'm being stretched. I got some things to do, not for Mary Kennedy, but for each and every one of us. You know what I'm saying? And so when I do get a chance to like click in, I'm empowered, just as empowered as I am in these moments. And I'm proud of all of us. Thank you, Miss Carolyn, for your karate kick. Sis, I mean, I don't know between you and AJ which hurts the most, but I'm appreciative. I am appreciative for
Mary,
you.
what'd you say the other day? Motivate the motivator.
Okay, because I thought you was gonna say something, and I was about to say, I promise I didn't say anything bad.
No, motivate the motivator.
Motivate
That's
the
what we
motivator.
do.
I like that. I like that. Well, listen, Selena, just just continue to be who you are. Continue to walk in God's presence and His purpose that He's bestowed upon you, and keep being bold and fearless. Fear not, fear less, fear not. Right. Continue to bless the masses. And still show up. And I thank you for that, and I thank you for just being obedient, because you're living by example, and you're taking leaps and steps of faith. You're taking roads untraveled, and you're just doing it. And I believe that's what all of us are doing. We are the trailblazers. And when you are the one that are set before, then who is there to be with you? So just know that just like you took that trip across the country, you already knew who was your co-pilot. You already knew who was with you. So if he got you that far, you're going to keep getting you there. And that's why I put in there in the chat, enlarge all our territories.
Thank you, Lord.
Because this is what he has called all of us to do, something great. And like, my mentor, Les Brown, because that's where that whole statement came from about, and I forgot to mention his name, but I have to correct it because you always have to quote where you hear greatness from. And so that whole thing about you meet who you are supposed to be. Because of that dash, when we leave this earth, we have to make sure we leave unfull. We have to make sure that we are unfull, because our legacy is what's going to matter for the next generations and the next generations and the next generations. What mark are you going to leave? So I can be able to be like, Selena was here, Jay was here, AJ was here, Octavia was here, Monique was here. Lakisha was like, all of us was here.
Lord, thank you, Lord.
All of us was here. And we're all here because of you. Because you were obedient and said, I'm going to do this thing that nobody ever knew, this Rock Nation. What's that? I told you, I called it back in existence. I said, this thing is like the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I remember.
I said, you got to keep this thing going. And then the connections, so we have to always give the connections with different things. We're going to break this down, and we talk about these strongholds, the things that are keeping us and holding us back because of our past. And we want to look back at it. Yeah. But we look back at it and we dwell on it instead of looking back. If we do look back, it's like, whew, I remember that, but I'm going to keep looking forward. Don't forget. You just be like, okay, that's not controlling me any longer. But the thing is, in order to do that, you got to do it. I'm gonna tie this up with a nice little bow.
Go ahead.
You got to break some chains, and that's how we got connected through WBNC.
Come on, Queen. They just posted on Facebook. I love they keep your memories, and it just posted. May 8th was the first ad that we put out. It posted the first ad, and we were supposed to do a podcast. Of RockTrue. And seriously, guys, like this was on Podbean or something, which just really was the audience that we would have was probably going to be about one. I ain't being funny, ain't no shade to, you know what I'm saying, but one. And then technical difficulties. We would practice, everything was good. We would go live, it wouldn't work at all. And then in the process, like I promise you, like I wanted to give up. I'm like, come on, we got the equipment, we got what is wrong with the internet? Everything working, ain't nobody. It was crazy. And then came across CL Smooth. And I just simply asked the question, like, well, how do you work radio code? Because I was just going to get radio code and just do everything myself. And then he ended up inviting us on. And we went from an audience of 1 to an audience, a platform of 2.3 million people. That ain't nothing but God. By the end of May. So you're right. We came together from Breaking Chains.
From Breaking Chains.
I want to throw my computer. I want to throw it. The computer. Like Jesus in hell, you just throw everything.
and then through that, we got introduced because you had to be magnified, right? You gotta magnify your essence. Hey.
Oh, and fear less and fear less and fear less till you fear not.
Till you fear not, and then you gotta be fit and fulfilled. Like there's a message in everything. There's a message in everything. There's a message in anything. And when I tell you, like I talk about you two, Doc Ock and Selena, like I talk about you two all the time. I say, these queens are still holding it down. And I so appreciate you because you're still giving life. You're still giving life when this is how you know that, just like Selena, you have people that are there when you're not there to keep RockTrue going. That's why it's still going, right? That's why it's still going, right? And that's why fear less till you fear not is still going because of, we are each other's keeper. Monique says, our brother's keeper, I'm my brother's and my sister's keeper. So, man, so publicly, I appreciate you both. I appreciate you both because I take nothing for granted, as God has us all moving in 1,000 directions because He has 1,000 things for us to do because we got a people lives are on our hands.
My queen.
And I don't want that. So got work to do. But with work to do, I've been fed so much.
I'm cool. Everybody cool.
I need all to feed my body.
Yes, so let's go ahead and let's get out of here. Man, I love Tamoy. We are lit, we are live, we are true. Be you, rock truth forever, queens. Absolutely
nothing at all. I had to put a little note on that.